All right, we're rolling. Okay, so I think it's me. I guess I'll agree with Audrey, Audrey, particularly. But I want to do like the official introduction. I'm going to give you the long introduction, okay? So if you've heard this story before, bear with me. You probably haven't heard all of it. So when I was a baby in real estate, I started buying like $300 worth of Zillow leads in 96740, right, Ocean View. And Audrey was my advisor back then. And she was maybe in the Zillow business too, I think, back then. And there's a few people like in my business life that have significantly changed the trajectory of how we ended up here, right? And she's one of them. So I got lots of love and aloha for her, and she's reciprocated and very much has been dedicated to our success in building this business. And definitely, wouldn't the team wouldn't be where it is today, or the vision wouldn't have taken shape without pushes in the right direction from watching. So this is a result of today is a result of a lot of delayed gratification, you guys, right? So in this business, everybody loves the immediate sale, the immediate paycheck, but long-term success and big success in this business is all 100% delayed gratification, and a lot of it has to do with lead generation and lead follow-up and not getting paid right away. But I can think back on all the times we made a decision to do something that had no immediate benefit in the near future and has really turned into one of the biggest opportunities we could possibly ask for, not just here on the island, but now we're going to Maui and potentially other places. It's a really big deal. So that's the first kind of lesson that I've taken away from getting here. The other thing is being uncomfortable. So from the very beginning, it was her job to sell me leads, right? But she always pushed me to buy at a level that was uncomfortable. And I understood that. I understood the importance of that, but it made you work harder. It made you be more dedicated to it. And it started at $1,500 before we became Flex Partners. We were spending $6,000 a month, you guys. I had a $6,000 bill every month to pay. There's no guarantee we close any leads, right? It was always uncomfortable to the very end. I was spending $72,000 a year on Zillow leads, right? So, the shit feels uncomfortable, but it all worked out. It all paid off. I remember 2018, we had a discussion in Vegas at the conference, and they rolled out Flex, and I was like, Audrey, tell me what I gotta do to be a guy in Hawaii, because this is I want to be a guy, right? And part of it was you gotta have a team, you gotta have systems, you gotta have processes, all the stuff that we have today was a vision of, it was our job to implement and make that shit happen, but I needed a roadmap, right, kind of how to do that. And I saw lots of other people across the country doing the same thing, and I was like, hey, we can do it, right? So that's how we got here. And all the way up until now, there's stuff that's uncomfortable, right? So take this all the way it's meant to make this better. I never needed scripts. I can talk all day long, right? I never thought they were necessary until we started doing this, and I saw how badly a lot of you guys need. Some of you need them, and some of you don't. But it's changed the game in terms of it was uncomfortable. Some people didn't like it. They put you back there first. It feels unnatural. It's not whatever all the stuff was. That came from people feeling uncomfortable, right? And if you want to grow and do something bigger, you got to be uncomfortable. That's just the way it is. And all we can attribute the results to in February was a freaking crazy month, right? What do we have? 21 conversions in February, something like that. We had never did more than 12 or 14, and the market's in the tank right now, you guys. We're down 50% from 6 months ago, 7 months ago, right? So there's no reason why we should be converting at that level, other than the results of the last 3 months of getting our shit together and actually implementing the program and getting better at sales. We gotta believe it. We talked about it last week on the call. So what caused it? I'm like, I don't know, because this doesn't make any sense, right? We're down. We had 292 sales last month, island-wide, and there was 700 back in March last year, right? We are way down in terms of market activity, and still double in terms of conversion that month. And the only thing we're doing differently is everybody's using script. It's the only thing we're doing differently. So that's what we're here for today, is to take it to the next level. Super stoked. We got tons of good stuff, but this is for us to get better and find our craft, right, and be the best we can possibly be at not only converting Zillow leads, but all these, being able to have these conversations and understand how to use these language tactics and conversion tactics. It works on everybody, and unfortunately, me being the dummy that I am, I never thought that's something I could train on, right? Actually asking to write a contract at mutual property, seems intuitive, right? A lot of people, you guys do that. We got mutual property, which we do our offer on. I do that. Justice does. That's why they sell, 30, 40, 50 properties a year, right? But a lot of people don't do that. They just let the client go home and then stop talking to them. It's crazy, right? We're in the business of sales, so you gotta use sales. So without further ado, that's my long introduction to Audrey.
Thank you.
Welcome, Audrey.
Hi. I'm super excited to be here. First off, I brought some swag. We have this little backpack. Yeah, it's great. I have one, and it's a walking lead generator. I travel a lot for work, and so when I go to the airport, buyers always pull me aside and say, "Oh, do you work at Zillow?" I love Zillow. I shop on it all the time. I have some questions. So we're going to be giving out a backpack at the end of this training to the agent that has the most engagement. So Dylan and Monica track the engagement. So there will be times. Okay, so great, I love it. There will be times where we'll ask questions, and when you
I'm gonna stay now, don't
yeah, when you give answers, when you chime in, when you help generate a discussion, that counts as engagement. So a little bit about myself. I know we've talked on Zoom many times, and Dylan gave such a great intro, but a little bit about me, just because I'm here. I'm based out of Irvine in Southern California. That's where I traveled from to be here. I'm super excited to be in Hawaii. I feel really grateful to work with your team because many times not all teams are aligned or have the same focus, and you guys are just a really special group. I've been at Zillow for over 7 years. So like Dylan said, we kind of grew up together through Zillow. I was like a baby rep and he was like a baby agent. And we were just trying to figure it out together. And I firmly believe that there are people that come across in your life that impact you in different ways. And maybe you don't realize it then, but they make a huge impact. And so think about that when you meet with buyers. Think about that when you meet with new leads. You make an impact on them because investing in property and buying a home and achieving that is a huge deal. And sometimes it takes a really good real estate agent, a really, really good person, human, that guides someone through that process. And that could be you. So think about that every time you go through that process of talking to the customer. You're about to impact them in ways that they don't even realize, right? On a personal level, I speak sign language. My parents are deaf, and I also speak some Cantonese, but only enough to order dim sum. If any of you guys have a Peloton, I have a Peloton, but I rarely use it. I actually use more for like running outside. My Peloton handle is you ride some of your dim sum. Do you want to add me?
I love it.
You're my friends.
Audrey,
So,
do you have Instagram?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's at Audrey when you leave. Go ahead and add me. I'm very active. I'm always on the stories. I see Dylan's stories. It's just been a while. We had a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Okay, got it.
So this is more for me because I know you guys know each other and whatnot. But if we could just go around the room, I want you to introduce yourself. So tell me your name. How long have you been in real estate? So how long have you been a real estate agent? And what are you most excited to learn today? And how do you learn best? Are you an observer? Are you more of a doer? Or are you a learner by like writing things down? And so let's make it quick so we don't stay here forever. Maybe we start with you.
I'm Kelly Fuller. I've been in almost 2 years.
I'm excited to learn today more scripts, and then I would say I'm a doer.
Okay, good.
Hi, aloha, I'm Ray, and I just want to tell you that I have a deaf son,
Oh, you
so
do?
I do sign language as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
and they're adults. He has a deaf wife, and I have 4 grandchildren. Yeah, they're all
Nice.
hearing. So I've been in real estate since 2020. I'm excited to learn more about how I can apply myself in this Zillow and kind of like be aware so I can check myself before I speak. Yeah.
Okay.
And share how you name this. Coffee and in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do all Tasha.
I'm Tasha. I'm born and raised on the Big Island. I've been in real estate since January 2023.
Whoa.
New agent. I want to learn everything I can about Zillow and Zillow leads. And I learn best by doing.
Okay, good. Monica?
Monica Day, and I have been in real estate. I started last year in July, and I'm most excited to learn more about skirts, and I was excited to meet you in person in real life. And I learned this by doing, I think.
Okay.
Doing. Yeah.
My girl Justice.
I'm Justice. I've been in real estate for almost 4 years. I'm excited to learn about the scripts too, and I'm sure I'm going to learn something more than that. I just don't know what it is yet. But I'm excited for everything, and I think I'm an observer. What do you think, Cecilia?
I'll tell you in a second. Hi, Audrey. I'm Ivory.
Wow.
Thank you. I grew up with a deaf friend, and other than that, all I know is this, the bad word.
Yeah.
And I have been in real estate about 2 months longer than Justice, August 1st, 2019, so about 3.5 years now. I'm most excited to take my Zillow to the next level and get more involved and stop turning it off because I get overwhelmed. And I definitely learn best by doing.
Kevin Sawyer, agent about 5 months now, 4 or 5 months. Said to learn how to close more leads. And I learned best by observing and
You probably teach us how to convert. You told me you got converted already in 5 months.
That's really good.
everyone got the license is 2017. Actually, interested in scripts as well today. And I'm probably a friend server.
Hi, I'm Julia. I don't know how much I'm Jasmine. I've been in real estate for about a year, I think. I'm excited to learn how to convert more leads and Zillow, and I learn best from observing.
Okay, good. Thank you guys for.
I'm Jamie. I've been in real estate 2 months now. I'm excited to learn whatever you have to teach because I feel like I take a lot away after our trainings. And I do best by observing and doing.
Okay, good.
How many conversions do you have?
3.
Oh,
Or 2 Zillow, 1 not Zillow.
Wow. Very nice.
And is your last name pronounced Moy or
Mo money.
Oh,
Mo money, no problem.
Well, we don't get to go or what?
Yeah,
So ground rules for training. Number 1, you have to be present, be active, be a participant. You are here for a reason, right? So I know we all have a lot going on. We have kids that are crying, you have obligations, you probably have escrows on fire, you have clients, leads popping in. But this is an investment you are making into your business today. So be present. It's not every day that Zillow comes into town on this side of the island to meet with you in person. So, take as much as you can out of it. If something doesn't make sense, don't hold back. Just ask. There's no stupid question. It's better that you figure it out now than screw up in front of a customer, right? Or lose a deal over something that you could have known. And I never want that for you. So make sure you're active and participant. Number 2, this is in your calendar. So if your phone rings and it's not a Zillow lead, it's got to wait. The only call you can take are Zillow calls today in this training. And if you take it, we're going to play it after. And then number 3. Yeah. I've been in trainings with agents in person where the Zillow call comes in and they take it in front of me and they're shaking. So I want you to do well on the call. So if you need to go step outside or whatever to have a great call, go ahead and do it. If you want to sit right in front of me and I coach you through the call, we could do that. And then number 3, I've worked with real estate agents for a long enough time now to know that you're not going to remember everything I talk about today. You have to write it down. If I don't see you taking notes, I'm going to assume that you're not focused and this isn't important. So make sure you write things down. And as you write things down, think about what can you implement after this. So put a star next to it, make notes. Those are important because after today, it's all about your execution. It's about how you implement, right? It's about what you do today that's going to pay off 90 days from now. So for our agenda, just to give you a recap of what we'll cover, I'm going to enlighten you with Zillow's strategy and what the Flex program looks like in the future and how you fit in. Then we're going to go over how to crush the connection calls. I know we've been talking about this over and over again, but it's so important. You're not going to get that transaction if you don't get that appointment, plain and simple. After that, we're going to take a quick break. So 5-minute break after the connection calls. You can use the restroom, return a phone call, do whatever you need. Then we're going to go over how to win the initial appointment. So what do you need to do when you prepare for your showings and the actual showing experience itself? What needs to happen for that to be successful, especially with Zillow customers? Then we'll take a quick break, 10 minutes. Then we're going to go over how to navigate offers in an uncertain market. So we're going to go over best practices on how to prepare for the offer, how to write a successful offer, how to win that offer, all the things that our top agents do, I'm sharing with you today. After our offer writing session, we're going to have a 10-minute break, and then I'm going to go over how to win the nurture game. So we have a very packed agenda. Like Dylan said, everything that I teach you today, you can apply not only to Zillow leads, it can be to any lead source. All of these things are sales skills that are meant to make you better and to close more transactions and help more families. All right? Any questions about our agenda? Do we feel good? All right. I heard a lot of scripts, so we're going to weave the scripts throughout on what you can say. But I thought it would be helpful if we had a 10,000-foot view on what the housing market looks like. I know you guys are in it and you live and breathe it. But we have access to a wealth of data, so we also see what the market is doing. And so I have a couple of, top line notes of what we see in the market. So number one, mortgage rates have made affordability a big challenge for customers. And so because of the volatility, we saw it during the pandemic, they were really low, and we saw a huge influx of customers, probably the craziest market ever. And as mortgage rates jumped up and became so volatile, buyers are jumping in and then they're pulling back. They're jumping in and they're scared. So this has caused a lot of affordability challenges, and the peak of housing that we saw at the pandemic has really started to slow down. We also see very few homes coming onto the market, so we're forecasting about a 30% decline in new listings as of end of January compared to January 2020. You see this in your own market. The market is way, way down this time relative to this time last year. So it is a result of the higher interest rates and the uncertainty that customers have. The interesting thing about this is even though buyers are really uncertain about wanting to make a move because they're worried they can't afford it, our traffic, meaning the buyers that are looking on Zillow and shopping around for homes, is at an all-time high. Yeah, we have over 230 million unique visitors coming to our site. That's huge. That's like over 2/3 of all customers in the US. So they're actively looking. They're just not ready to pull the trigger because they're scared. It's because they're nervous. It's because they feel like they can't afford it. But we have them. We have the audience. And then the next thing that we forecast, this is going to sound really negative, but I don't want you to take it that way. We're expecting significantly fewer transactions in 2023. Just to give you some perspective, in last year, there were 6 million transactions that changed hands. So if that's 6 million homes sold, that means there were 12 million customers. Because for every home, someone's got to buy it and someone's got to sell it. So last year, there were 6 million. This year, we expect a decrease down to 4.6 million homes that will sell. So that means we will have fewer transactions occur this year, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be less successful. You can still grow your share and sell more homes of the existing pie, and that's our goal at Zillow. Our goal is to grow our share, grow our conversion rate among the pie of homes that's going to be available for sale. And you see that today. There are fewer homes and transactions that sold on the Big Island this month, but our conversion increased. We captured more of those customers, and that's the growth that we want to continue to have month over month. So I want you to look at it that way. This is opportunity for you to capitalize on. Most agents, when they see these headlines, what do you think they do? Most average agents.
Get another job.
They get another job. They become an Uber driver. They let their license go inactive. They make up excuses for why they can't sell. But you're not one of those agents. You're here in this room because you're going to do something about it. So where do you fit in with Zillow? Our goal is to get you more people that you can show homes to and get them into a home. Not just get them in, but help them win the home. We believe that more people should be homeowners and more people should buy and sell. The problem that holds them back is that buying and selling sucks. the experience is not great. It's not where everything else is in our life is today. So think about all the conveniences you have in your life that you love. Think about when you order things through Amazon. Think about when you order food to be delivered to your house. Think about when you call an Uber to take you to the airport. These are great conveniences that come with technology, and real estate is ripe for change. Buying and selling a home should be a great experience. But I can say for most people, 9 out of 10 times, even if they had a great agent representing them, due to circumstances that are beyond their control, they wouldn't say it's a great experience. And we are able to change that together. So what Zillow trying to accomplish, I know you probably hear this a lot from your peers, especially people who are not aligned with what we're wanting to do. They ruminate a lot and they'll say like, why would you work a Zillow lead, or why would you partner with a company like Zillow? Number one, for a long time, we've been known as an advertising-based company. So we would sell leads to agents like Dylan, and I would call them and try to get them to buy more. And now we are changing our approach. Instead of being an advertising-based company where we sell leads to agents and be looked at as a vendor, we want to be a transaction company, an integrated transaction company. We want to be responsible for driving more homes to customers and getting them into a home. And we feel that long term, this puts us in a position to, in partnership with you, help change the experience and help change what buying and selling means, especially in markets like Hawaii. So what does that look like, the integrated transaction journey? So as you can see, the agents in the middle, that's you. This is you right here. And there's a whole journey that we envision that customers go through when they're buying and selling a home. And I'm going to walk you through how we plan to innovate on it with you at the center. So number one, financing. We have Zillow Home Loans. We're not ready to push this to you yet because there are nuances to this market that we want to be prepared for. So right now, you guys, if someone needs financing or pre-approval, you send them to your local lender, which I think is great. Continue to do that unless they're paying cash. But we are building out a financing engine within Zillow Home Loans. We know that when customers are on our site, that they ideally would like a one-stop shop, and we're building that out. So we are hiring for Zillow Home Loans officers. We have policies in place that ensure that customers are fully pre-qualified at the time of when they get connected. And we'll put our money where our mouth is. So we will do whatever it takes, even if it means taking a loss, to ensure that customers have a great experience and that they win the home and their loan closes. When the time is right, we'll let you know when we're ready for us to consider working with you through Zillow Home Loans, and we'll partner with you through every step of the way. So what does that mean? We will take the time to understand your preferences. Everyone has a different working style. Everyone has different preferences for how they want to work with their lender. We also understand that this is a very much relationship-based business. So we want to grow that relationship with you and make sure that we're not disrupting your process and that we work together to service our shared customer. Shopping. So Zillow's a great site for shopping for homes, right? That's where most customers dream and find and discover a home that they want to see. We plan to innovate in this space. The way we are innovating is we're going to be rolling out real-time touring. So what that is we're going to integrate showing time directly onto listings on Zillow. So if a consumer sees a home they like, 123 Banana Street in Hilo, if that home is integrated with showing time, only if it is, then the times that we show the consumer on when they want to check out property are going to be the actual availability times based on showing time. Whereas right now, we show them an open calendar, but all those times may not actually be available. So we show them real-time availability through showing time. We ask the consumer to pick a few options that are available, not just one. Then we confirm that. We confirm they're in the market, and then we'll call you. When we call you, we'll show you these 3 times the consumer is free. And if you're not available, don't take the call. If you're available and you accept, you're telling us you're free one of these times. And then once you accept, a little like fairy in the back end through technology will just book the appointment through showing time for you. So it's like magic. It's like a confirmed appointment.
Will that day for the buyer to pick be like tomorrow or the next day only?
We're going to put measures in place where they can't schedule things like under such short notice.
Right. It can't be too short, but it can't be too long.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I was saying like tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday all day.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah. These connections have the highest conversion rate we've seen so far. We're testing it right now in our enhanced markets, and they convert at about 25%. So 1 out of 4 go into escrow.
Does that mean you're also integrating with showing time? Are you
We bought
buying
showing
them?
time already.
Okay, cool.
We closed the acquisition last year. You didn't know that, right? Zillow slowly makes moves that most people I feel like don't understand, but we're actually playing chess. And Zillow is playing a very, very good game of chess. So we own showing time. The acquisition closed last year. We're fully integrating it into our site. Your next question is, well, what about homes that don't use showing time? We'll figure it out.
Right.
We will figure it out. So right now,
it would be great just to really push to all those other agents that don't, just to really try and start it. Because it's awesome.
It is.
I agree.
You hate to hear these block boxes, so one thing at one step at a time, right?
Good point.
That's the good thing. Nobody's gonna even know this is life unless you're a partner. So I feel so bad for them. They'll never know.
Yeah, they'll never know. But you know what? Should they be servicing today's consumer? Like, no. No. Like, I just think about the struggles agents have today. You know, they don't know how to navigate multiple apps. They don't know or understand their tech stack. So then that puts your client at a disadvantage because they don't have the best agent that can represent them, that can take advantage of all of this technology and the right partnerships to deliver on what they want, which is the home. So that's why I feel so passionately about, you know, coaching and training our agents and getting you to a place where we can service our shared customer, because that's what they deserve. And buying and selling a home should be a better experience. There's actually a stat out there that says that the average customer would rather gain 10 pounds than go through the mortgage process again. Isn't that insane? Like, what? It's so hard to lose weight? You would be willing to do that?
You might be the ones that didn't gain that 30 during COVID.
Okay, so the next thing is, at the end of the day, even if you're really great at showing property and booking appointments, it doesn't matter if you can't close. So we plan to innovate on this process and identify how we can help you close faster and be better at closing. And so we have within Zillow our own title and escrow company, Zillow Closing Services. We're not ready to roll that out in Hawaii. Hawaii is such a special market that we need to take more time to really figure out how we can best integrate. But this is something that we're doing. So this is one step. And then the next thing is unlocking equity. So we are innovating in the seller space. We know that if you're a seller, a potential seller, a majority of them are on our site. No surprise. If you're thinking of selling, you check your estimate, you look at the comps, you look at the homes around your area that are for sale. We have them. So we're working on innovating how we can deliver those seller leads back to our best partners so that you win more listings. But look at what I just walked you through. The integrated transaction journey. This is what we are innovating on at Zillow, and you guys play a really big part in it. You're right in the center. And so partnering with our best flex teams is really critical to our vision. We wouldn't be able to accomplish all of these things without a really, really great agent at the focus. Any questions about what Zillow is trying to accomplish or how you fit in?
Or what you heard from your hater friends, we can address.
Yeah, tell me about your hater friends.
I have a funny seller that called me this morning. She
Okay.
said, I have a condo and I really want to list for this price, but the estimate says this, so if you have to go with that. I was like, are you kidding me? I'll see them. Okay, we're gonna look into it. I'll do the analysis, but that's the first time that someone was like, Zillow said this, so we're gonna just go with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they think like what they see on Zillow is like the Bible.
Yeah.
And they love it and they trust it. So it's up to you to use that as a starting point and then arm them with the knowledge that they don't have, they need from you. And that's going to be a common theme that we talk about today is how can you provide more value to earn someone's trust and get them to want to use you, work with you. So for your seller, these conversations are best had in person. Yeah. So you over the phone, you wouldn't want to be like, okay, yeah, silly. You don't know what you're talking about. It's an algorithm. The computer doesn't know all the renovations you did to your house. So when you have to push back on someone, it's much better communicated in person when they can see your tonality in your face, and then provide them with all the data. So his estimate doesn't know all the renovations you made inside. They don't know that your countertops are now granite or so and so. They don't know a lot of the nuances about comps, especially in Hawaii, because every home is different and it's not cookie cutter, it's not like tract homes. So this estimate is not going to be the most accurate compared to a professional opinion.
Is there any thought about Zillow making a CMA?
So in our markets where we have seller leads, where we're testing them, we actually don't show the seller as estimate as the starting price of the home. We came up with something called a synthesized CMA. It is a blend of the estimate as a starting point and comps that we pulled, and we figured out ways to generate a CMA very quickly, and then we blend that together as a range, and then we tell the seller, hey, if you're thinking about selling, here's what you could potentially consider getting if you were to list traditionally with an agent, and then we send them over to an agent, and then you would do your actual assessment and provide them with a CMA. But great question. So today for our training, we're really going to talk about how to maximize that partnership so that you guys can convert more transactions, help more families, and kind of tie everything all together. So let's first go into how we handle the connection calls. So we talk a lot about this, but just as a recap, there are characteristics of a strong first connection call. Hi. How are you? Good.
We started already, sorry.
Okay.
It's okay.
Dylan, you said everyone was here. Sorry.
Okay, who can tell me what are the components of a strong connection call? What have you learned from us over the past 90 days of what's important in the initial call?
When would you like to see the home?
Yes.
Today. Today.
Today. When would you like
Today.
to see the home? What else? Yes, ALM. What does ALM stand for?
Appointment, location, motivation.
Yes, very good. What else is important in a strong connection call?
Are there any other properties you'd like to see?
Yes. Why is that important?
We like to make the most out of your day.
Okay, but why do we want to show them more homes when we first meet them? Why do we want to show them more than one? Huh?
Better chance of
Motivation. What'd you say?
better chance of converting.
Yes, better chance of converting. Why is it a better chance of converting?
Because buyers don't know what the fuck they want.
Absolutely. So are you going to be able to tell them what they want when you show them one home?
No.
You need to show them how many.
3 would be ideal to compare and contrast.
Good. What else helps you when you show them more than one home when you first meet them?
Rapport.
Rapport. Why is the rapport important?
They can trust you.
Why is trust important?
So they give you their info. And you can be on the team, collaborate with their vendor, and
Show that you're a professional local agent.
And that they want you and nobody else.
Buying and selling a home is a huge deal. The average consumer only does it every 7 years. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. When you first meet them, you have one shot to get them to know, like, and trust you. That is why it's so important that you show them multiple homes so that you give yourself the best advantage of getting them to that point in your relationship. So we touched on this, but characteristics of a strong connection call is a strong intro. What does the strong intro sound like? Alex here connecting you to a local agent now. Any
Thank you,
volunteers?
Alex. You're doing great, Alex. I'll take it from here. My name's Ivory Calver. I'm with the
not
agency.
joking.
I'm being real. I'm with the agency team Hawaii. I've learned everything I know from Justice Pang, if you've heard of her. And I am the local Zillow expert. What would you have I thought I only had to do the introduction and we would hand that off to the next person.
Who else wants to give it a try? Alex here. I'm looking at
Jamie
123
knows it.
Banana
Jamie
Street.
knows it cold.
123 Banana Street in Hilo. Alex here connecting you to a local agent now.
Thanks, Alex. Aloha, this is Jamie, your local Big Island realtor. I see you're interested in 123 Banana Street. When would you like to see it today?
Oh, let's go. Very good. Very good. You have to secure the appointment early. I know that it's very nice and polite to ask them how they're doing. Stop. Cut it out.
Yes.
Straight up, ask for the appointment. They don't care how you're doing. They don't. And before they got connected with you, we put them through a maze before they could get to you. They just want to see the house. They already got bombarded by Alex at Zillow. They already had to navigate through our site and click all these things just to come in as a lead. Like, don't put more in the way. Just make the handoff really, really smooth. Thanks, Alex. My name is Audrey. I'm your Zillow Premier Agent with eXp Realty. I'm your local agent here on the Big Island. Zillow told me you want to see that home 123 Banana Street. When are you free to see it today? And that's it. During the call, of course, you can ask them how they're doing, build rapport, but at that handoff, get the appointment. Build rapport and speak with a smile. How many times has anyone told you they can tell when you're smiling on the phone? Can you tell when someone's smiling on the phone and they're talking to you? How does that make you feel?
Smile too.
You smile too? It makes you feel good, right? You have to be the bright spot in someone's day. Think about that. Be the bright spot in someone's day, even if they're so rude to you. You don't need to be like that. Be the bright spot in their day. Smile when you talk. It comes clear on the phone. Energy is infectious. Sales on the phone has to be a transfer of enthusiasm from you on the Big Island to Joe Schmo in Idaho. Like, they have to feel it. Discuss showing multiple homes. I would love to show you a few homes so we can make the most of your time. Is there anything else you saw on Zillow? Are there any other homes you want to see? For sure, they saw multiple homes. They hearted it, they saved it, they called in about one, they really want this one, but you don't look through thousands of listings and only pick one. If they told you they only wanted to see one, they're lying. And it's not that they're lying because they're trying to deceive you, they're lying because their guard is up. They really want to see more. And then you need to close. You need to take control of the call and have really clear next steps. Here's what's going to happen next. What are the 3 things I want to hear in the recap? Your name. Reintroduce yourself, right? Because they already forgot who you are. What else do you need to cover in the recap?
The survey is coming.
How does that sound?
Just to let you know, Zillow will be sending a survey to you in the next 24 hours, in the next 24 hours about our experience. Do you have any additional questions before we get off the phone?
No, you've been great.
That's great.
What else needs to happen in the recap of next steps?
Your next steps.
The next call.
This is what I'm going to do for you. What do we have to do?
Contact the seller, set the appointment.
What
and
else?
Text you my information.
So I
As
know
soon
how to
as
reach
we-
you. And then what's the 3rd thing you're going to do?
It'll be in touch.
That's not it. What's the 3rd thing that we didn't hear yet?
Set up other homes as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you talk about recapping next steps, here's what I'm going to do for you, Tasha. Right after this call, I'm going to send you a text so you know how to contact me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm with the seller of our showings for 123 Banana Street, 123 Cherry Street. I'll get back to you with an update in about half an hour. And I'm also going to pull up other homes that match what you're looking for. I'm going to bring them with me to the showing so we can compare. How does that sound? Those are the next steps. And then you ask for the survey. So we covered ALM, we covered the strong intro. We're going to listen to a couple calls. And when you listen to the calls, I want you to think about these things. Was there a strong intro? Did the agent cover ALM? Did they discuss showing multiple homes? Was the agent clear on next steps? Did it feel like they had control of the call? And then listen for any opportunities or what you feel like they did really well. We're in a safe space, guys. It's okay. Don't be nervous. Okay.
I'm getting Alec here. I'm connecting you to a local agent now.
Why is this taking so long, huh?
I think if this is the one we did the meeting on, it just had a delay.
Okay.
We already watched this thing.
I think this one comes on.
So, are you familiar with I'm going to keep my head on this first.
As soon as you hear Alex here connecting you to an agent now, just introduce yourself. That's the green light. Because if you heard it, the consumer heard it too. You both hear it. You're on the conference call at that time.
Thank you, Alex. Hi, this is Allie Rayson You're on the west side of the Big Island. I'm here in Colorado. I see you're looking at a property on Old Tobacco Road. Would you like to book an appointment today to see that property?
Great intro.
Well, we're in Montana right now, so we are going to be there for spring break in a few weeks. So if it's still available, we may be interested. Okay, fantastic. And I can also do a video tour for you also if you wanted to see it before your trip here. Okay. I'm going to people ahead about this first though. Are you familiar with this?
So did you hear in that part where she offered the video tour? It didn't sound like she was asking a question, right? She just said, hey, I can offer you a video tour if you'd like to see it before you come out here. She kind of left it hanging. What's a good way to close that?
Would you?
Yeah. What time would work for you? Or, hey, no problem. We help a lot of families that are looking off island. I can schedule a quick FaceTime for you to see the home virtually. When are you free to see it today? Just assume. Don't ask for permission if they want to do it. Just go for it.
With the property, okay, so, we see that it's a lease, but the terms of the lease aren't really specified. Can you shed some light on that?
Yes. Give me just a moment. I'm going to pull it up for you. And while I do that, can I ask you what were some of the features of this property that were interesting to you?
Well, obviously the amount of acreage that comes with it.
I really like how she did that. She basically said, hey, I'm going to pull up the listing, which in my opinion, if they ask you a question specific to the property and you don't have time to pull it up, you don't have to do that right then and there. What's a good way to defer pulling up the listing? Let's say you're driving and you can't pull it up. What is a good way to kind of put them at bay, but still keep them on the phone to get through ALM? What could you say instead?
I can get back to you.
That information. And then you have to transition back to the script. So what would be your question?
What interests you about this property?
Okay, good. Remember, you don't have to give them all the answers right off that call. Just set expectations on when they can get the answer. So, hey, that's a great question. I'm going to have to connect with my colleague and pull up the terms of that lease, which I can do and get back to you in about 30 minutes with that. But in the meantime, while I have you on the phone, what did you like about that home? What interested you about that property?
And just because I know Allie and I know this property, just keep this in mind, you guys, for like from a building credibility sake, right? Allie knows it. She's been to this property multiple times. She offers on it. Like, you can say that, right?
Yeah.
To build expertise. Like, it's a great property you're calling about. I've been to it multiple times, and so you immediately. So it sounds to me like she doesn't know anything about the property based on the call so far. When I know that she knows a lot more about it than she's leading on, right? So think about that in presenting your expertise to the client. Is that you can mention, I just visited it last week. It's a great property, whatever. So,
yeah. I was just there. I just showed the home the other day. Oh, I love that you're calling on it. We had so many interests on this property. What did you love about it?
Allie lives on a leasehold farm, KS farm. But she could say, I've been living on a leasehold farm for the last 15 years. I can tell you all about it. What are your questions? Right?
Or I know this listing agent really well too.
Yeah.
So
Allie's
then
not
they're
doing
not
herself
tempted
justice
to
in
call
this
the
call
listing.
because she knows way more than she's leading on. To me so far, I listened to this call, that would be my criticism of this call so far.
Yeah.
So.
Is amazing. And the view. So the price seems pretty low for the amount of property and such. Are we missing something? And I saw that the sale fell through a couple times in the past. So does it have to do with the lease or what?
Yes, okay, so let's check to see how many years are left on this lease. This lease expires in 2051.
Yes.
So we are at 2023 now. Okay, so it's almost 30 years on the lease that's left.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with this lease?
A little bit, but not that much. Can you?
Okay. So the reason why at this price point is because it is a leasehold property. So essentially you are buying the lease. You're buying 30 years to live on this property. At the end of 30 years, you can renegotiate your lease with Kamehameha School, who is the owner of the lease. And at that time, they can renegotiate the terms of the lease, what you're paying for lease rent, whether they're going to want to extend the lease or not. Each lease is its own separate lease, so there's specific terms in every lease, and you would want to get a hold of this one, see specifically what it says and what the terms are. But I think, and you're right, this price is low considering the acreage, considering the view, considering the location. It's an extremely desirable location on the west side of the island. And it's because at the end of the day, you don't fully own it. Right. They make a school owns this lease. Okay. But, you know, on the bonus to that is that at this price, you would never be able to get in and have something for 30 years at, you know, $540,000. It just wouldn't be great. This would be right for much, much more. Yeah. So it is ideal for somebody who wants to come in and farm and is not afraid to have this 30-year lease. And another bit is that so there's a yearly lease rent.
So she's providing a lot of value in educating them. In the event that you don't have that time to do that, here's a quick script or one-liner that you can use to buy yourself time. I have so much more that I want to share with you about the pros and cons of leaseholds. When we meet today over FaceTime around 4 o'clock, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know. In the meantime, what other homes did you also want to check out? When we meet today at 4 o'clock, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about leaseholds. I'll show you the pros, the cons, and give you a comparable of other options so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. In the meantime, transition. In the meantime, what did you like about that home, or what other homes did you also see on Zillow? Let's listen to one more call.
Hi there, Alex here. I'm connecting you to a local agent now.
Hi, this is Mark Curtis. I'm a local real estate agent here on Bay Island. If you're interested in our property listed at 204 Fern Road.
Is this guy smiling or what? Right? He sounds like a dead fish. Like, no one wants to hear from that.
The backwards on.
Yep. And were you planning to set up a tour? Stay here, back. Were you planning to set up a tour? No. We're just trying to buy.
Is that a good way to ask for the appointment? Were you planning to set up a tour?
I don't know what that means.
Right. You're speaking realtor language. What's a better way to get the appointment?
Did you want to see it?
When would you like to see that home today? When would you like to see that home today?
Okay. Were you looking to put in an offer right now? You haven't got. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I want those
This is my
songs.
first time hearing this call.
Is it all? We picked this one for a reason.
We can get around there. Oh, you know, no. We're gonna pay that, but we fucking stayed around there. Keep pancake. Nice, okay. So will you be on the Big Island anytime soon then? Maybe we
Do
get
you
this
need to
property.
be on the Big Island to write an offer?
No.
Okay, sounds good. Is there any other questions though you want to know about the property before you make an offer? Nope. Nope. Okay. Sounds good.
I'm just freaking out.
Just give them my contact information, and then we can start working on putting in the offer. But is there any other questions I can help answer for you? Okay, sounds good. And what's your name again? James. James? Yeah. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, I'll send you my contact information after this, and we can work on getting that offer in by this week. Thank you. Sounds good, yeah, thank you, sounds good. How you doing?
Let's talk about the pros, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the pros.
And they connected.
Yeah,
I think there was definitely
you wanted to make an offer. That's a pro.
Yeah. I think that they connected. They both have similar ways of talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the opportunities?
To say your name as the agent and who you work for, and to establish yourself as
the solid go-to. Instead of just ask a bunch of yes, no questions.
Yeah. Open-ended questions.
But make an offer today. Why not this week? Why not today?
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the kind of stuff that I learned, right? Is that we don't train on if they want to make an offer right then. What do you ask for?
Right.
What do you ask for? Like, ask the questions. What do you ask for? This is like, Tasha, I want to make an offer right now on this property.
I need to look up this place.
Hey, that
So
sounds
this is the
amazing.
training opportunity where we learn about what we gotta focus on, you know?
Yeah.
Because this happens. I mean, I've had this happen to me many times where they just call in and make an offer. It happens. So
How often is it for real and they have their stuff together?
does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
So what would you do? Would you just pull out, take your computer and let's make an offer right now, like you have on the call, or would you call them back and make an offer?
No, you start asking. You start asking. Well, first, who's going to be on the offer? I need the legal names of everybody who's going to be on the offer. What is your financing plan? Do you have a pre-approval letter? Are you going to be paying cash? And then you kind of walk through the offer, right? We should probably get on FaceTime and go through this so I can ask you about all the terms that you need. But I mean, just pivot right into that like you would 3 weeks into the relationship. I mean, it's the same questions you got to collect. We have questions to ask before you write an offer checklist, right? I mean, just go down that, make sure you have all that information, and write the offer.
I think where you get hung up is, like, I've never met them. I don't know if they're qualified. It'd be the same if your friends called you up and said, hey, Tasha, I want to write an offer on this house. Well, what are the questions you would ask them? Okay, great. Have you already seen it? Okay, let's go ahead and go through the terms of the offer. Are you free now? We can jump on a quick FaceTime. I'll walk you through it. I'll coach you through it. Let's game plan so we can get your offer accepted. And as you're talking to them, as you're asking them questions about where they're at on financing, are you going to be paying cash or will you need financing? And they're like, oh, I need financing. Okay, great. Who's your lender? Are you already pre-approved? Oh, I'm not pre-approved. And then what do you need to do at that point? Get them pre-approved. Okay, great. I have an amazing lender. Let me add him to the call right now. We'll do a quick conference call. He'll coach you through it, get the pre-approval. Let's figure out how much you qualify for so we can write an offer. Like, just back to the proper steps, right?
The other situation this happens in, I mean, this happens a lot for like vacant land.
Especially
You
that,
guys know, right?
yeah.
Vacant land, your order taker, right? They just want to buy this lot of HPP or whatever. This also happens when an agent fails to do their job at an open house. So somebody goes to an open house, agent shows them the house, doesn't give them their information, doesn't talk to them, they leave, they talk that night, they say, we should buy that house. So they go on Zillow and they call Zillow to write them an offer. Like, I mean, because they should be calling the agent that they're at the open house with, right? But they didn't for whatever reason, and they go on Zillow and they call and they want to write an offer on a house they saw. And they'll tell you, we saw the house yesterday, we think it's great, so.
I mean, with that call specifically, I still would have said, I'd like to go see the house myself, even just as the agent. Like, the sight unseen aspect of things is not great here, yeah.
I mean, this is an Ocean View vacant lot, right?
Oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's different.
Yeah.
You want to drive to Ocean?
I would not go. No, I decided.
But Ivory brings up a good point. So it is the right thing to do, and you're representing your client to see the property and check it out, but don't create the objection. Don't be like, oh, before I write this offer for you, let me check it out myself. Just say, hey, we're going to draft up the offer together. I'm going to coach you through the process, and at the same time, I'm going to do my due diligence as your agent. I'm going to check out the home, connect with the seller, get all the details you need so that you're protected.
Perfect.
Do that.
That's what I meant, and I meant as a home.
Yeah.
Not a vacant lot.
Yeah. But I feel like there are some agents who maybe won't know to do that. They might be like, oh, I don't want you to buy the wrong house or a bad house. Let me go check on it first before you write an offer. If someone's raising their hand and they want to write an offer on the call, you're writing the offer.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What if they want to write it for like way less? You know for sure it's not going to get accepted. Should you write it?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because they're going to get a comment, and I'm going to tell that other agent.
There are some agents that won't write the offer because they don't want to waste their time. They don't want to look dumb in front of the listing agent, and they don't want their buyers to get fatigued by writing an offer that doesn't get accepted, and they don't want them to be frustrated when their offer doesn't get accepted. That thinking is incorrect. If someone wants to write an offer and they're not listening to you in terms of the price or where they should offer at, it is your responsibility to submit it on their behalf and let them learn a lesson that they didn't take your advice. Obviously, guide them. Say, hey, based on my experience, based on the comps, here's all the data. Here's where I think we should offer at, and here's why. If they say, no, I thank you, Justice, for giving me all that information, I still want to offer $100,000 less. Because, My gardener told me to do that. So then you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in this offer for you. I'm going to negotiate the best I can. Let's see what the seller comes back with. If anything, potentially we can counter, and we'll game plan on what we're going to do at that point. So make sure you do that. If someone raises their hand and they want to write an offer, you got to do it. And so you have to learn to quickly pivot on the call, right? And I think that's the
say
biggest.
something like, hey, if it's too low, they might not even counter. It might be an insult to the sellers. I've seen this happen numerous times.
So that's a way to gain credibility. You can say, hey,
Yep.
Based on my experience and off of this role, a lot of times won't even get a response. We're just going to reject this. We're running that risk. How badly do you want this house?
Yep.
Because if they say they want it badly, then we should. If they say, oh, we just want to take a shot, cool, we'll do that. We take the shot, we get rejected. We say, oh, they rejected us, and now you seem credible because you predicted it.
Yeah.
You already told them what was going to happen.
Okay. Let's run through a few scenarios. Scenario A: buyer calls in, but they're really focused on this property. Hey, why did it fall out of escrow 3 times? And you don't even know what the home is? How would you guys maintain the conversation and still get the appointment? So, hey, I saw 123 Banana Street in Hilo. I saw on Zillow that it fell out of escrow 3 times in the last 30 days. Why? What are you going to say to me to keep the appointment?
That's a really good question. Let me get back to you. What did you like about this home?
Okay, good. What's another way to handle that?
When do you want to go see it? And then we can discuss what your thoughts are about it after.
Okay, good. Hey, that's a really great question. Homes in this market fall in and out of escrow all the time because of financing issues, because of buyer hesitancy, because they're calling in from off island. Sometimes it's due to the seller needing more time. As your agent, I will make sure to coach you through that and help you get the best information on how we can best strategize. In the meantime, when would you like to see it? That's how you handle that. Scenario B: you get a call from a buyer who's jaded and they're pissed off and they're frustrated that every time they see a home they like, it goes in escrow because they're in a very competitive price point or budget and they're pissed off on the phone. How do you de-escalate and still get that appointment while addressing their concerns, their frustrations?
You could say, I understand your frustrations, and a lot of other buyers feeling that same way. And then let me ask you a few questions, or just go ahead and ask them what they're looking for, and then tell them to set up a tour and show them what's on, and I like to show them what's on the market too.
Let's role play. Justice, I'm really pissed off. Every time I see a home on Zillow, it always goes in escrow, and I feel like I can never get into a home.
I understand your frustrations, and a lot of other buyers going through that. Honestly, I think it would be more specific on where they're looking. So say they're looking at HPP. I'd say right now there aren't a lot of properties on the market in HPP, but there are a few coming on. I live there. I drive past some homes that are currently being built. If you're interested in a new build, I can get a list of those homes coming on the market in the next 2 months.
Oh, wow. Good, good.
I do like that.
Another way to handle it when they're frustrated and you're trying to earn trust is give them a success story. Right? Because that makes you credible. So when someone is frustrated, I learned this a lot working at Zillow with angry agents who are very emotional, is you would say, hey, I completely understand your frustration. I would be too if I was looking in this specific neighborhood at your price point. With that being said, you are in amazing hands. I just helped a family get into this home last week in this neighborhood that you're looking at, so I know I can help you. When is a good time for us to meet so we can game plan together how we can get you a home in this neighborhood? Lead with empathy. I completely understand why you would be frustrated. Give them a reason why you are the right person to talk to. But don't worry, you're in amazing hands. I live in this neighborhood. I know this area really well. I just helped a family. I just closed in that area. When are you free to meet so we can work together to game plan how we can help you? Be the solution. Be like the Band-Aid to their problem. Scenario C: buyer calls. They don't know what they want. Oh, is it available for rent? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not on island. How would you make sure that their needs are met, but you still get the appointment? They're like a looky-loo, early stage. I don't know if I want to rent or buy. I saw this really cheap. I'm not on island. How would you still get the appointment?
I can do a video for you today. When would you like to see it?
Okay, good. That's a good response, but how do we address the renting, buying in the response?
Ask them how much they're paying for rent.
Good. But then after you find out, okay, so let's say I tell you, I'm paying $2,000 a month for rent.
That's crazy, right, man?
You take your own to work.
Okay.
Maybe, I'm not sure if you tried to get qualified yet, but maybe when you find them, or maybe if we find the right home or the right area you're looking in, it might urge you to try to get qualified, and maybe your mortgage will be less than your current rent. We'll have to see.
Hey, I completely understand that you're deciding between renting and buying. Don't worry, I've helped many families make that decision together. How about this? Why don't we jump on a call today? We can FaceTime when you're free, and I can walk you through the pros and cons of renting and buying and better understand your situation, and so that we can find a solution that will help you. How does that sound?
Great.
Great. What do you do if they only want the listing agent? Hey, I just want to talk to the listing agent. Are you the listing agent?
No, the listing agent represents the seller, and I am a professional. I can represent you as the buyer.
It's okay, I have an agent.
What are you doing on Zillow?
My agent's off island, they're in Vegas. But I need the listing agent's contact info because I'm going to write an offer. What are you going to say?
Call your agent. That's in Vegas.
Oh, you mean they're visiting Vegas or they
No,
live in
my
Vegas?
agent that's representing me is in
Are
Vegas.
we allowed to give it to them? Like, I would give it to them because then
Maybe
Do not.
they already got an agent.
Maybe you can tell them, do you have an agent here in Hawaii?
Good.
No.
Could you just ask them, like, what would they want to ask them? Maybe you would know that.
Yeah. Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that.
Hey, I live here. I know the listing agents. They're hard to get a hold of. What questions do you have? I can find it for you. What questions do you have? I'll get the answer for you. You have to push hard for the business. If someone says, hey, they have an agent, and you say, like, oh, why don't you call your agent? You're giving up too soon. You're throwing in the towel too soon. Try harder. The fact that the agent's in Vegas means the agent dropped the ball. The fact that they're calling in through Zillow means their agent dropped the ball. I know we want to be very careful because this is a small town. You don't want to like burn bridges, which is right. But that agent is doing the client a disservice by not servicing them. So there are ways to go about this. Ask them, hey, what questions did you have? I can help coordinate with the listing agent to get you answers. Hey, who's your agent? I can maybe help them get in touch with the listing agent so we can facilitate your offer. And then if you get some pushback after you try to get that info, say, hey, no problem. I'm going to get you the listing agent's contact info. But just give them one piece of contact info. Don't give them everything. I would probably give them the broker's phone number, the office brokerage phone number, and say, here's a number. But let me tell you, I'm local to this island, and oftentimes listing agents can be hard to get a hold of. So if you don't mind, because you called in through Zillow, I want to make sure you're well taken care of. I'm going to give you a call in a few hours to make sure that you got your questions answered by the listing agent. And if not, I'm here to help you. Then they're like, oh, okay. And you don't give them everything. Give them one piece of the listing agent's contact info, and then set a task to call them back when you said you would. So if you said in a few hours, call in a few hours. If you said first thing tomorrow, call first thing tomorrow. Then when you call them back, you fulfilled a promise. You said you were going to do something and you did it. You are earning trust. You're putting in like a deposit for trust. So if you told them you're going to do something and then you did it, you're earning it. So then when you do the callback, you say, hey, Justice, it's Audrey. I'm your Zillow Premier Agent. We spoke yesterday. You wanted to talk to the listing agent for 123 Banana Street. Like I said, I wanted to give you a call back and make sure you got your questions answered. Did you get a hold of the listing agent? Very likely they have not, right? So when they sound disappointed and they're like, oh, the listing agent never got back to me, say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We never do business that way. I want to make sure you're taken care of. So what questions did you have and when would you like to see it? Okay.
Well, we sign, we're together, and you're the listing agent.
They already have an agent here, and we need to find out if they signed the contract before we continue to service them, because then we're doing their agent's job.
You have to. Like, at the end of the day, because you're in the Flex program, we're asking you to provide a service to the consumer. There will be probably 3 times out of 10 where you do this thing and you're not going to get paid. And you're doing that agent's job. So my suggestion is you do this to try to get the business, and then after you get a hold of them and you're like you get face to face, you realize they did sign a buyer broker agreement. That could be a question you ask maybe on the second phone call or on your follow-up call. Hey, you mentioned you had an agent. Did you sign anything saying you're committed to using that agent in your purchase? If they say yes, do the right thing. Okay, perfect. Your agent, Joe, is going to be the one representing you in this transaction. I'm really sorry that you're having a hard time getting a hold of the listing agent. Let me connect with Joe and see how we can help you. And then you call Joe and say, hey, your client, Susan, called in through Zillow. She seems frustrated. I'm not trying to take your clients. I just wanted to give you a heads up that they have these questions. Would you be able to give them a call back today? And that's it, move on. If they say, oh, I didn't sign anything, then I want you to meet them and figure out how you can help them, and then offer to pay Joe a referral fee and let the client make the decision. But most times, the consumer doesn't know that there's a better agent out there. Many times, consumers have a poor experience in their real estate transaction because someone told them to use that agent, but that agent has only sold one house. So they don't know how to get them into showings, they don't know how to get their offer accepted, and they're frustrated. So just by the mere fact that they call in through Zillow, they need service. And so all I ask is that you, if it means it took you 30 minutes of your time and you're not going to get paid for it, you're doing the right thing for the consumer and they're going to be grateful for it. Remember how I talked about earlier today? Sometimes in life, people come across you and you made an impact on them. That's you making an impact. And so once I've coached agents through this, what they found was that they come back. They're like, you know what, Lay? My agent sucks. I had to fire them because we submitted 10 offers and it never got accepted and they never explained this to me and I'm really pissed off. But you took 10 minutes that one day to explain something to me and I knew that you weren't going to get paid on it, but I knew you were good. So if you tell them on the phone, hey, call your agent, man. You got to work with them. Like, that's not doing that service. So I want you to, if it takes 10 minutes out of your day and you're not going to get paid for it, think about how it could impact that consumer, and then it could come back to you. It's kind of like karma, right?
It's Kinoole, right? Doing the right thing at the
Have you
right
heard
time.
my bar joke about this, Lay? Have you heard it?
Pour me a drink.
Lay, you're at the bar, all dressed up, makeup to the nines, right? By yourself sitting at the bar, and I walk up to you and I drop my best pickup line, and you tell me you have a boyfriend. I'm gonna ask, really? Why are you here? Right? Why are they on Zillow if they have an agent? Right? I mean, the agent is doing their job, right? Why are you here? Like, what are you doing then? You know, so think about it that way. Like, people will say that,
Right.
but either they're just trying to be non-committal because their guard is up, or they're lying. Like, they just don't have they don't have one, right? So don't immediately shy away from that. Like,
I've done the
make
bare
them prove it.
minimum for buyers who have agents already. I've done the bare minimum, like send them the listing, call and give information. I once gave out the whole listing agent's name and brokerage and number and all.
And the universe will reward you for doing the right thing.
It'll come back. Yeah.
Like, you almost always want to be the second listing agent, right? So, like, I don't mind losing a listing appointment, but having a positive experience, leaving them with a professional experience, leaving them with a positive experience, and then when it doesn't work out because they went with the lower commission person that's going to get them a higher price and it doesn't work out, guess who they call next? Their second best option, right? And then you get it sold because they're going to listen to you and then they overlisted on price. I mean, so in a normal market that happens a lot.
Because now I'm more rising above the occasion. Because that's what you gotta do, is rise above the occasion and just give them the best service you can.
You know, at a bare minimum, right?
If you're being serviced by your agent, you're not looking out on Zillow calling.
I know. I get that a few times. Oh, my agent's on vacation. I just want to look at the property.
Hey, no problem. Happy to help you. By the way, I never take vacation. I serve What do you do if the buyer no shows? You booked an appointment, you're at the property, you're dressed to the nines, you're ready to go. Buyer doesn't go. What do you do?
Call them up.
Okay, what do you say? No response? Then what do you do?
What's your Instagram? I need to blast you.
No response, then what?
Just leave a message or a text.
I'll be taking a video tour and I'll send it to you.
Yes. So buyer doesn't show, you send a bunch of tags, hey, I'm here, are you on your way? Oh, this home is awesome. I know you're probably running late. I'll take a video tour for you. They still don't show 30 minutes later. I'm getting really worried. Is everything okay? Are you stuck on the side of the road somewhere? Can I save you? And then at this point, I feel like the average agent will storm out of the property. They're pissed off because their buyer no-showed. You hit the bars, you get drunk, and then the day's ruined. But a good agent will stay. You might as well look at the home. You're already there. Another lead's going to call in on it. You might as well say you saw it. So you're going to tour the home, record a video, so that if you have another buyer off island that wants to see it, now you have a sexy video to send them. And then you send a video for your client that no-showed. So, hey, Susie, it's Audrey, your Zillow Premier agent. We were supposed to show you this home today, but it sounds like you couldn't make it, so let me give you a quick preview of the home. And then as you preview the home, don't give them the full tour. Otherwise, like, why should they see it with you? You just gave it all away. Give them, like, a teaser of the best parts of the home. Like, oh, my gosh, this kitchen is amazing. I know on the call you told me you're looking for a really great kitchen. Can you imagine cooking here? And then point out one thing that's interesting or unique about the home. And then say, I can't wait to show it to you. When are you available to reschedule? And then text them the video. Save your generic video of the home to your phone. Send it to the team so that other people can use that video too. And then tour the property so you really know it. That way when someone else calls, you're ready to go. And then go home and aggressively follow up with that lead and get the appointment back.
And then you do Instagram post it. Oh my God, I saw this beautiful home today. Check it out, everybody.
Yeah. That's what you do. Generate new business. And then what you should do is all your buyers that were interested in that type of home, text them the listing. Hey, I was out previewing homes for you. They don't have to know that it was for someone else that didn't show.
True.
Yeah, I was previewing homes for you.
I've never learned this. I've been with the same guy forever.
Okay.
And that's his sister.
Do you guys have questions about the connection call and how to handle it?
Okay. I have a question about when you do the opposite and you're at the property and you're like, are you underway? And then they write you back and they're like, well, it's a video tour. And you're like, oh, of course, I'll be right in. That happened to me with those people, Gaia. It was awesome. I was like, I'm just right outside. I'm waiting for you guys. You coming? She's like, well, we're in California, so it's video.
That's why we're nice and people mess up.
I was like, yeah, just as I thought. I'll be right in there.
I have a really quick question. Video tour, is it FaceTime?
Can be, but a lot of times we have bad service here, so you might be better off just doing a nice video. I try FaceTime them first so they know that you're actually there and that who you are. And then I just say, oh, shoot, it really isn't the greatest service, so I'm going to do a nice video, pop it up on YouTube for you or whatever.
And for you iPhone snobs, it's better to go agnostic, Zoom or Google Meet, something that an Android person cannot FaceTime, right? So you wanna preset the parameters of what the video tour is gonna be before you get there, right? What works best for you? Is it Google Meets?
WhatsApp can go too, yeah.
Yeah.
WhatsApp you can, yeah. I mean, service could be an issue, but of course, just doing the video afterwards is fine too. Sharing video, this is not something we don't train on, right? How do you share your video tour that you take?
Thank you.
Suggestions?
YouTube link.
I love YouTube, but maybe Vimeo could be better.
To me, the easiest is Google Photos. So you can definitely take it, upload it to YouTube, and then share the unlisted YouTube link. That's fine, but it's one extra step. Like if you use Google Photos, you can hit share, create a link, and the link you send the link, you email the link to your client. It opens up right into a browser, and they watch the full Threads video, right? So you're not sending a file. There's no download. There's no sign in. There's no upload. There's none of that stuff. It's really fast. So.
You make a video on YouTube of 5 minutes.
And Audrey, I had a question when you mentioned earlier that while you're on the phone, then afterwards you text them. When you say the word text, do you mean an SMS phone number to phone number text?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The other advantage of Google Photos is you can create an album, right? So you can take videos or multiple videos, you can take stills, and then select all of them, create a share link, and when they open it, all of those things are available to them, right? Because on YouTube, they're only going to see that one video, right? So that way, then you can add to it as like you can add to that shared album as you show multiple homes.
Yeah,
to them.
so that goes into the Google Photos app.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
I've
just been texting them the video and the pictures, but that sounds.
And that needs the resolution, and then
So listen, if you have to record a video and send to them, that's fine. But what we're looking for is you have a face-to-face conversation where they can see your pretty face and your tone and your body language. So then they start to build a relationship with you. So if you take Zillow call, it's in a property with really shitty service, you record a video and you Google photo drop it to them, are you getting the face-to-face conversation? No. So what you need to do is go home where you have better service and get the face-to-face conversation. I would literally just FaceTime them, or I would just Zoom call them. Hey, it's me. I thought we could put a face to a name. How are you? What, did you get the video I sent you? What do you think? And then just share the video and walk them through it on your computer.
Perfect. I wonder if Zillow would ever have a FaceTime button.
Okay.
Since they're just buying everything.
Since you're buying everything.
I mean,
hey, anything's for sale, okay? Anything's for sale.
that idea.
We'll call it the justice system. Yeah. All right, guys, 5-minute break.
Justice me.
Just get the camera, right?
Yep, exactly.
Go to the bathroom, get water, get something to drink.
Yes.
How are you? How's your vacation?
Trash. Like 35 or 36 years ago. My dad has 5 brothers, all dead. And all their kids.
Hey, Summer, how you doing? I'm doing good. I wanted to see if you guys were able to get Sheree the wire instructions.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, shucks. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. Okay, awesome. Okay. Well, she said she initiated it at least. Okay. Okay, so what will happen if you don't get the wires today? Okay, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you, Summer. Okay, bye.
Everything okay?
Dre's like, send the wire instructions, and now she's having issues wiring.
Yeah, Lee, get it.
Can I have Jason ship some stuff to your fuel box?
Not really, because have them ship it to the corner office. Because you need like that person. I would have to go get it with that Jason's ID.
No, you're putting in our name. Said to.
What is it? I wouldn't. It gets to be way too complicated.
No, if we just to my name, not to his name.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna have to go to the post office, take your ID, wait in a long ass line. Have them send it to, maybe like a FedEx. There has to be somewhere else they can send it. Can you send stuff to a FedEx office to hold? I would say send it here, but
To my dog, and it's like only a little bit left.
I tell them to wait. Say it's much easier if you waited. If it's urgent, I can ask around.
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So, it's worked out great, layout and everything.
Dylan, do you have a second?
Want to go get one of those stickers? I was also thinking that like each one of those
I wonder if she needs to like book a call with someone about it. Like I'm not gonna figure this out via text. She was like texting. I don't know.
Maybe one of
Like,
those
maybe.
things, I guess. I wanted to not show
And then
like I
like
wanted to
she's
look
getting
like
it from like set schedule or something, so she wants like 10% and that we set schedule. I'm like, wait, I need to figure this all out, make sure it's even financially viable.
Okay, when the music fades, it means it's time to come back.
I'll tell her to book call. She sent me this long ass text yesterday, and I was like, we'll respond during business hours.
I was like, why did you do that? No, because she works every day except for Sunday, so the only day she wants to work is on Sunday. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure on Sunday. Like, I work every day.
Okay, I'll tell her to book the call.
All right, now we're going to talk about how to crunch the initial appointment, all the things that you should be doing. So I personally have not sold a house, but we've talked to top converting agents who have, and these are all the things that they do to convert Zillow leads at a high level and what they do to prepare for showings. So we're going to cover this really quickly. Number one, how many of us are putting together a buyer's packet every time you meet a Zillow buyer for the first time? Just be honest, raise your hand.
Sorry about that.
It's a brochure.
Just a brochure? Okay.
All
right. So what do you guys do when you do take a Zillow buyer out for the first time? What do you bring with you?
A folder with the MLS.
I have a sexy business card.
Okay, good. Business card, a folder. What else? What's in the folder?
Business card, MLS, comps for the last 6 months of that home, maybe last year of the home. Yeah.
I do sometimes do a folder with just the MLS.
Okay. So you guys need to be doing better. Every time you meet a Zillow buyer for the first time, you should bring them a folder. And I know sometimes they call and they want to see homes quickly, so you maybe don't have time to pull it all together. Let me give you some advice. You should pre-make them in advance, folders that have everything you need in it, leave it in your car, and then when Zillow calls do come in and they want to see homes quickly, all you have to do is print the MLS tearouts of the homes we're going to see and slide it into the folder and then run out and show. That's what our top agents do. What should be in the folder? You should have like a bio of yourself. If you're not very strong because you're brand new, the team, which is very strong. So I would put that one pager in there about me, about the team. The second thing I would put in is like a page of your Zillow reviews of what other clients have said about you, right? If you don't have any reviews because you're brand new, again, the team, their reviews, put some of that on there. And then I would put in a market update, so some information about the current market in this area. I would include a one-pager on the steps to buying a home. Just quick process, one pager. And then financing info. And those are must-haves in the folder. Like they live there, they don't change. And then put your business cards in there. And then the only things that do change are the MLS sheets of the homes we're going to see and the comps. And so if you have a stack of like 50 of these folders in your car in your trunk, you can quickly show property and you're ready to go. All you have to do is put the stuff specific to the home in there.
Do we have more of these?
There's tons. So this is a good discussion. This has been on our to-do list to make, right? So there's like a standardized template you guys can all work off of. But
that'd be great.
If anybody wants to volunteer to help build this, right? And it's basically in the Canva, we can build a 3 or 4 page document. All you gotta do is drop in your photo, your contact information, your preferred lender if you want. But the rest of it can pretty much be the same, right? The next step will be we'll build like the listing sites, we'll build buyer sites, right? So you get a buyer, all this stuff will be instead of like a digital folder, you can just text them the link to the buyer site that you can add documents to and stuff as the process goes forward. But we need to do this. Yeah, we suck at this.
If you want to be above and beyond, you do all this, and then also in the folder are hiking trails nearby in the area that we're looking at, schools, great bars, restaurants, local neighborhood information. Oh, you should stop by the farmer's market while you're in town. They have the best poke, blah, blah, blah. Like that stuff in there. Especially if you have buyers from out of town, they would love that. Another way you can go above and beyond is I've had agents do this. They partner up with a lender or a vendor that wants to do business with you, and you have your vendor pay for co-branded tote bags, reusable shopping bags, which people love, and you put the buyer folder and the packet in there, you throw some candies, water bottles, like little swag bags, so when you meet them for the first time, you say, hey, I put something together for you, aloha, here's this bag, here's some information, we'll walk through it. If you want to go above and beyond on top of that, if your showing is for the next day, say, hey, I'm going to stop by Starbucks on the way. What's you and your wife's favorite coffee order? And then you make note of it, you put it into KB Core, now you know what their drink is, and then you bring it to them on the way. That is like some of my best converting agents, they do that. Why do you think people like that? It's the service, it's the experience. Other agents aren't doing that. Why don't you be better than that, right? Okay, so when you're showing, these are the key things you have to remember and you have to accomplish when you're showing a home. Think of this as like a mental checklist. Number one, they have to leave that showing thinking, damn, I just met an expert in that market. You have to make them feel that way, so it's a lot of educating. Two, you have to build deep and fast rapport. So we're going to talk about what that looks like. The third thing you have to accomplish in the showing is really dig on motivation. If I called you up after and I said, hey, tell me about that buyer. Why are they moving? What are they looking for? Why? You have to give me answers. That's how much you need to understand what's prompting them to move. Obviously, you have to walk the home with them, show them the property, show them your deal breaker, show them what you love about the home. You have to educate them on the process. You have to do this while you're showing. And then you have to book the next appointment or write an offer. When you show property, think of this as a mental checklist. These are the things you must do when you meet them. If you only do like number 2, build rapport and walk the home, but you didn't do the other steps, I would consider that a less than successful showing. I know this seems like a lot, but the more you practice, the more you make sure you cover these things, the better you're going to be at showing homes and converting leads faster. The reason why it takes you a long time to open escrows is because you don't cover all this when you meet them. You cover 1 or 2, then you chase them, you get them back out, and you cover the other points. But if you can cover all this when you meet in the initial appointment, when you show them 3 homes, you will be more successful and you will convert faster. Ivory and Justice do this really well because they naturally, from experience, know to cover these things. It's like second nature. But if you're newer to the business, you can still convert at a high level if you cover these things when you meet them. So we'll go over them one by one. So showing that you're the expert. Number 1, you got to show up early. How early do you need to be at a showing?
I like 20 minutes.
Okay, good. Why is that important?
Open up, make the house not smell like a dead house, turn on the lights, make sure they work, maybe make sure the water's on so nobody does one of those embarrassing moments in the bathroom. And the only slight change of this is sometimes we're drawn to a little bit more remote areas, so it might be wise to meet them on like a main road so you know kind of where you're going.
Yeah.
Even still, you could show up to the property and then go out and meet them and come back.
Yep. If you don't show up 20 minutes early and you're maybe 5 minutes early, there's nothing worse when a buyer shows up before you. It makes you look unprofessional. And then the worst thing on top of that is the listing agent is there and the buyer's there and you're late. They already don't know you like you or trust you, and if they meet the listing agent first, well, done. Like, they're going to work with that guy. So you need to be early. You're the professional. You also need to show up early because you need to familiarize yourself with the home. There's nothing worse than you're showing property and be like, hey, where's the kitchen, Ivory? And you're like, I think it's over there. And like, you look like you don't know what you're talking about. So that's why you got to come early. When you meet them, you have to introduce yourself and share a little bit about yourself. So, hi, my name is Ivory. We spoke on the phone. I'm your Zillow Premier Agent. Where did you guys come from? And then tell them a little bit about yourself. Make it brief. Don't throw stats at someone. Don't like vomit and say, oh, I'm the #1 EXP agent. I'm an icon agent. They don't care. And they don't know what that is. What they do want to know is about you. I'm local. I live here. I've lived here for over 20 years. You know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I went to school here. Like, that. Those are the things they want to know. Why you love what you do. Like, smile when you say this. I love showing homes. I love helping first-time buyers. I love helping people in the military. Like, share a little about your personality and then what you excel in. I'm really good at negotiating. What I'm really proud of as an agent is I'm always able to get the best deal possible, or we close on time every time. So here's an example of an intro. I'm not going to read it to you, but you guys can just copy this, and where it says Audrey, you put your name. Okay? So how do you build rapport? Really quick, fire, like, what are some questions you ask when you meet a complete stranger to build rapport?
Do you have any pets?
Okay, I have a corgi. What else?
Yeah.
No, I wish.
What line of work are you in?
I'm a plumber.
Oh, cool. I need your contact info. We have portable plumbers here.
Okay, good. Good. What are some other ways to build rapport? Other questions?
Tell me about your family.
Yeah.
A long time with your family.
I have 3 kids.
Oh, cool. Do you guys do karaoke?
Love it. Yeah.
It's always a good icebreaker.
So.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, I Want It That Way, Backstreet Boys.
See, everybody has one.
So, quick advice on building rapport. If you get so like rigid because you're so nervous, try this script. It's called Ford. Family. So tell me about your kids. Are you married? Blah, blah, blah. Occupation. What do you do for work? What do you like to do for fun? And what are your dreams? It's really awkward to be like, what are your dreams, sir? If you've like never met. But like a good way to get at this, yeah, a good question would be, hey, like if we were able to help you get this home, what would that do for you? Yeah. Do you plan to be in here long term? Is this an investment? So ask them where they're from. Use this, Ford. So some advice I can give you, if you're kind of an awkward person, and it's okay if you are.
Okay, to be an accountant.
Yeah. If you're not like a natural people person and you're easily nervous, my suggestion is if you just ask them these string of questions and you don't say anything in response, you are literally a robot and you're not doing a good job at building rapport. So when you ask them, hey, tell me about your family, like listen, smile and listen, and then say something that connects to what they just said. I feel like it sounds really silly that I'm telling you this, but so many times agents it's not natural to them. So if they say, hey, tell me about your family, do you have kids? And they said, oh, I have 3 kids. What's a good thing to say in response to connect?
Oh, how old are they?
Yes. Or, oh, I have kids too. Where do they go to school? Like, just connect with them. Find something you can connect on. So, occupation. I'm a plumber. What's a way to connect with me?
Oh, you commercial or residential?
Yes. My friend's a plumber. That's the easiest thing you can say to connect with them. That is so amazing. I need plumbing help.
I just clogged my toilet this morning.
Yeah. Okay. You ask them what they like to do for fun. What do you like to do for fun? Oh, I love to surf. What can you say in response? Me too. Yes, me too. Or if they say, oh, I love to hike. What do you say?
Oh, we have the best hikes around here. Have you tried Shipman Beach yet?
Oh, yes, yes. And then what if they say, oh, I love watching baseball. I'm a huge Dodgers fan. What do you say?
Me too.
What's baseball?
Tell me more. Tell me more. And then dreams. Hey, like, if we were to help you find this home, what would that do for you? Well, it's my first time buying a home. Like, no one in my family has ever owned a home before. What would you say in response? That's amazing. I can't wait to help you. I just helped a first-time buyer. Like, say something that connects with them, and then ask your next question. Don't interview them. Like, connect with them, okay?
We have special prizes for first-time home buyers. They're called homes.
Oh, okay. So what are some examples of ways to uncover motivation when you're showing property? What are some questions that you can ask to find out their motivation? Hit me with them. Huh? Are you pre-approved?
If they're currently renting their current living situation.
Okay. Well, what does that question sound like?
Are you currently a renter?
No, I own a home.
Oh, that's wonderful. Who's your agent that you use? Okay.
No, well, are you going to sell that home
You
to buy this home?
Good.
Equity, open up, different ways of buying a new home.
Okay, what are some other ways to uncover motivation?
What's put you in the market to buy this home?
Yeah, what's got you in the market to buy a home? Why are you looking? What are you looking for? And then whatever they tell you, is that the real answer? No. You have to peel it back. You have to ask more questions. So a good way to peel the onion is, oh, that's awesome. Tell me more about that. Oh, what would that do for you? Or why is that important? Just ask more questions to get at the motivation. Usually it comes down to something that's prompting a move. It's like a life change. Like Monica was saying, hey, we want to stay in Hilo because the schools are better, but all our family's in Kona. Like that's the motivation, right? So ways to dig deep in motivation. Here are some example questions. You should write this down. Hey, what's got you looking for a new place to live? How has your home search been so far? Get information on where they're at in the process. Is this your first time seeing homes in person? And how long have you been looking?
How's your home search been so far is like a super important question.
Why is that important?
Does anybody know?
To see if they're we're working with a realtor, and if they had an unhappy experience, and you can learn from that realtor's mistakes and not do that.
Or
if they're
I
serious.
just started, haven't done anything yet, right? I mean, it's gonna tell you either, a lot of past history about what their situation is.
A good segue is, hey, what I would like to do is ask you a few questions so I can get to know you better and find out how I can help you. Is that okay?
So good.
This is a good question.
She's good.
Yeah. And then if they say, yeah, sure. Hey, is it okay, Leigh, if I take notes? Yeah, sure. And then now you can take notes. And they'll be like, wow, you're really serious about your job. You really want to help me. It's okay to ask these questions. And then here are the questions you can ask. Hey, are you in the neighborhood or are you relocating? Where did you come from? How familiar are you with the area? Are there any other requirements you have in your home search? Like, what are your must-haves? Where do you work? How long is your commute? Why are you looking to move? Are you looking to cut down the commute? Are you open to a long commute? The next question I would ask is, do you have any, I know you called in through Zillow and you're clearly searching for homes online. Do you have any questions for me about touring or about checking homes on Zillow? This is a good segue where you can say, I can help show you any home on the island. Maybe not you personally, but this team can. That's a good segue for that. What questions can I help answer for you? And what support do you need from me, Ivory, to help you through this process? This is a great open-ended question to ask a buyer. What support do you need from me to help you through this process? It sounds very like we're a team, you know? And then what are some of the reasons that are prompting you to make this move?
What are some of the answers you get when you ask someone what support they need from you?
Well, I'm really confused about the process. Sometimes I go on Zillow and the home's already unavailable. So now what do you say?
You can filter your search to only show active homes.
Okay, but when someone gives you a problem, you need to be the solution. So if they say, oh, sometimes when I look online, I'm really confused because the home's not available. Hey, don't worry. That's why I'm here for you. I'm going to make sure that we show you homes that are available. We'll game plan a way in which we can see homes before they come on the market. We have access to listings that are not yet on Zillow. Did you know that? We have homes, because of our relationships, because I've been in the industry for this long and I'm part of a big team, I know of homes that may not yet be on Zillow. So tell me what you're looking for. What if they say, oh, I'm really confused on the process. I feel like I should get pre-approved. Absolutely. Let me walk you through that. I have a great lender. Where are you at with that process? Oh, well, sometimes I want to see homes, but I don't want to bother my agent. That's a trigger. So, hey, no problem. We are part of a big team. I can show you homes all over the island. You're never wasting my time or bugging me.
Another one I've gotten is, it's always been my dream to move to Hawaii, but my wife's not totally convinced. Can you help talk to her about it?
Of course.
You know, because they're scared, right? They don't want to talk to their spouse or whatever. So that's support that you can provide them is have that consultation and have that conversation.
Sure, just have her dress up to the nines, put a bunch of makeup on.
I'll be meeting
There's
her
a great
on
bar.
Hey, no problem. I just helped a family move to Hawaii that moved from Boise, Idaho. I can definitely talk to your wife and coach you through this. This is my favorite question. If they don't make the purchase, what's their plan B? So, hey, if we can't find you a home, what's your plan? What will happen? Why do we like this question?
It shows you how motivated they are.
Okay,
if they're
good.
going to say, what do you mean can't find me a home? I'm finding a home in the next 3 months. I have to move there. My job starts February.
Did you hear that? She just revealed pain.
Yes.
That is the point of this question. Hey, Leigh, if you don't find a home in this neighborhood, what's your next step? What's your plan? You need to get them to spell out their pain. And then that is what you use as ammo back at them when you want to nurture them. Hey, I really think we should check out this home. It's a steal of a deal. And if we don't capitalize on this, you're going to continue the 1.5-hour commute. And you're not going to be able to spend as much time with your kids. And they're going to grow up before your very eyes. Now, when you're walking the property, obvious, turn on all the lights, water sources, like make it not smell like a dead house. If they have kids, this is another tip I picked up from a great agent. They have like toys and little things for kids in the trunk of their car. So if someone comes up with a family, they're like, oh, I have some toys for your kids. They can like be preoccupied.
You getting those toys back, right?
I would probably go to the dollar store and I would spend like $10 and I would buy like some crayons and some like stuff, like little books, and then I would just have it in the car. And then it's a nice touch, especially for young families. When you tour the home, so there's a couple ways to go about it. Ask them, hey, would you like to tour it on your own and then we can connect and I can point out a few things about the home, or would you like me to walk you through it? Give them the option. How many of you guys do that? Give them the option.
At open houses.
Yeah. Okay. And then when you have a Zillow buyer and you meet them for the first time, do you like helicopter them around every room, or do you give them a choice?
I helicopter.
Okay.
Now I know not to.
If it were me, I would greet them at the door. I would do the intro. I would give them a run through of the home. I'd give them the buyer packet, and I would say, there's a couple ways we can do this. I can show you the home room by room and tell you everything I know and better understand what you're looking for. Or you can look on your own and then let's meet in the kitchen and I'll point out important things for you to know. Which one would you like? That's how I would go through it. What questions do you have about the home? That's a good question to ask them. And then when you tour the property, so this part is important. There's homework you need to do before you show them. So what's example of homework that you do before you meet the buyer?
When was the last time the home was sold and how much was it sold for?
Good. What else?
How much land is there?
Good. Good. What else?
Any open permit situations like that.
Okay.
If there's multiple offers.
And how do you find out that info?
Get friends with every agent on my
Yeah. You have to talk to the listing agent before you show them the home. You are doing something that the buyer is not able to do or doesn't know they should do. So every time you take a Zillow buyer out, you need to have a conversation, if you can, with the listing agent and basically pre-negotiate for your client. So, hey, I'm about to show your property today at 3 o'clock on 123 Banana Street. Is there anything I need to know about the home that's not already on the MLS? What do you love about the home? Have you already received offers? If they say yes, okay, have you already received offers over asking? Probe, ask questions. Hey, what would it take, Justice, for us to get a deal done? What is your seller looking for aside from price? What are you looking for, Justice, to make this experience as easy as possible for you and your listing?
3% next time you're the listing agent.
Okay, got it. And then what do you love about the home? Listing agents will brag about their listing. What do you love about it? What's important? What's unique about this home? And then whatever they tell you, jot it down, and then you feed it to your buyer. So when you show them, point out what you love about the home, and this is you have to say a few things that make this home unique. So you need to do your homework. You need to do your research about this home and how it compares to others. This is what your buyers are looking for. And the way you can get this is ask the listing agent.
One more that I always forget, just because we have a lot of new agents, is the association dues. I would always forget that, and that's huge. They can make or break if they can afford this home or not, especially
not just association dues, but what amenities does it cover? How does it compare to other units? Why should I live here? Why shouldn't I live here? Would you buy this home? Yes or why not? And then what makes this home unique is what I think most people want to understand. And then if they're looking for an investment, how much could I rent it out for? What could my potential ROI look like long term? How often is it occupied? Does it gain a lot of interest? And why? And what's nearby? These are all things you should know in preparation for your showing.
Is everybody comfortable answering that question? What do you like about this home? What do you dislike about this home?
Yeah.
We gotta be, right? We're the experts relying on us for our opinion, and sometimes giving them a honest opinion about something that's wrong is gonna build more trust than if you're just trying to sell the home, right?
Yeah.
If you were perfect example for East Hawaii, Puna, the water tank's pretty small. right? Like that's something that somebody, a buyer may not understand, but if it's only like a 3,000 gallon water tank or something, and they got a family of 5, that could potentially be an issue, right? Then that's the kind of stuff that you have to provide perspective on, so they understand that and say, hey, you want a 10,000 gallon water tank if you really want to, it rains a lot, but 3,000 might not be enough. I mean, that's kind of stuff. The roofing material looks high quality or whatever, but the little things like that can cause them to build that trust and rapport with you if you can point.
I think it's always important on these too to kind of like softly give them your opinion too. Like something that matters a lot to me might not matter to you. You know, like for me, I personally love open concept floor plans, and I hate closed off kitchens. So I might mention that in a soft way, just like, oh, more of a closed off kitchen. If that's what you're into, then you probably like that. You know, I'm not saying like it's that bad. Because you don't want to like pigeonhole them into thinking, oh, she said that this is really bad. I never thought it was that bad, but I guess she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, and don't talk yourself out of the sale.
Right.
But give them a solution. So say, hey, one downside to this home is that the kitchen is a little closed off. If you're okay with that, this is great.
Yes.
But if you want something more open, here's how much it would cost for us to renovate. Here are some contractors I have that I can put you in touch with. And we can also look at other homes that are more turnkey.
Yeah.
Right? So you just pointed out a deal breaker, but you provided solutions. Hey, a weird thing about this home is that these windows are original, and if a tsunami hits, it'll break. But don't worry, during inspection, you can do so and so and so to protect you. So you pointed out a deal breaker, but a solution. After they tour the home, straight up ask them, hey, what do we love? What do we hate? Give me the good, bad, ugly. Get them to tell you. Don't tell them your opinion yet while they're talking. Just have them tell you what they think, and then whatever they say, probe a little bit. Tell me more about that. Why is this important to you? Why do you need an open floor plan? Well, ask a little more. And then ask them to rate the home. How many of you guys do this? So at the end of every showing, like after you show them the property, ask them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 7, 1 being this home is garbage, and 7 being I must have it, I would die if it's not my house, where would you rate this home? And if you rate it a 5 and above, we're going to write an offer. Just coach them through it. Teach them the rating scale. Teach them the rating scale, and then at the end of each home, ask them to rate it on a scale of 1 to 7. You're training them to be in offer writing mode. You're training them when I check out a property, it's not just to look and be nosy. It's to look, be nosy, and do I want to write an offer or not? So ask them to rate it, and then ask them to compare. So the yellow brick road house and the tree house one, which one do you like better? Get them to narrow it down.
You do 1 to 5?
1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 10, they're all the same.
Okay.
Just pick a scale that you can easily explain with confidence, and then teach them the scale.
Great.
And then middle to up, so like if you do 1 to 5, if it's 3 plus, we're going to write an offer. If it's 1 to 7, if it's 5 plus, we're going to write an offer. If it's 1 to 10, 5 plus, we'll write an offer. Most important question. Hey, do you want to write an offer? How many of you asked that at the end of the showing? And then the ones that don't ask, do you wait? I'm just curious. Do you wait for the buyer to tell you, hey, Keke, I want to write an offer?
My buyer will usually just tell me.
Your buyer will tell you? Okay, and they say, oh, well, I like this justice, I want to write an offer.
Yeah, we were saying bye. She just said, can you write it for 160?
Okay.
Said, yeah, and then wait.
Okay. So I want you to change that mindset. I know it's scary because you worry that maybe you feel like a car salesman, but they're trying to win a house. They're trying to move into a home. So the problem is that buyers are scared because they think that writing an offer is a commitment. They think that they literally have to shell out money and buy this house. But it's not scary. You have to coach them through. You have to demystify the offer writing process. So at the end of the showing, if they like the home, it points out a lot of the things they're looking for, and they're giving you buying signs, then say, hey, based on everything I heard today, would you like to write an offer on this home? Just ask. Worst case scenario, what are they going to say?
Think about it.
Okay. If they say no, what do you say? Why not? Tell me more. What about this home is preventing us from wanting to write an offer? Just ask for info. And then whatever they tell you, give them the solution. Okay, no problem. We will look for other homes that have so-and-so, and if it's only if this home doesn't solve that solution, so it's in the wrong neighborhood, it's the commute, things you literally cannot change, then give them the solution. I will find you other homes that have so-and-so that will shorten your commute. If it's things you can change, explain it. Hey, paint, carpet, they're cosmetic. It'll cost you around this much to fix. In this market, we may be able to negotiate some concessions to help you with that. Is that something you would be open to? If this home, insert motivation, helps you cut down on your commute so you can spend more time with your family. That's where you tie that in.
Are you okay with like the kind of sarcastic, funny, fun version of like, so we're ready to write an offer on this one, right?
I would put in your personality. And then what if they're like, no, and it hits everything they wanted? What do you say?
Why not?
Yeah.
So we're coming in at full price or over full price?
Over full price.
Or if it checks off all their boxes and they still don't want to write an offer, I would probably joke and be like, dude, do I suck?
Exactly.
I just showed you the most amazing house and you don't want to write an offer. Am I doing something wrong? Like, joke about it. And they'll be like, no, it's not you, it's so-and-so. And then say, hey, like, tell me, like, what's holding you back? What's holding us back from getting this home? So how many of you, when you show property, you ask for the business? How many of you tell them, I want to be your agent. I want to work hard for you. I would love the opportunity to earn your business. How many of us are doing that? You have to ask for it. So if you just show them a home and you're like, okay, cool, we didn't like this home, I'll go back to the office and I'll send you more listings, you're not asking outright for the business. So at the end, if they don't want to write an offer, say, hey, I would love the opportunity to help you and earn your business. I'm going to work very hard to help you find a home. I'm confident we can because I just helped someone in your exact scenario close in this neighborhood last week. So with that being said, when can we meet so I can show you more property? It's just straight up ask for the business.
50% of clients have no idea how the real estate business works, right? They just think you're showing them homes, they'll just contact somebody else to show homes the next time and somebody else the next time. So if you're not clear about setting that expectation, that's what happens. Is they're just going to go kind of contact somebody else.
Any questions so
or
far?
Or you follow up 3 weeks later, they roll an offer with the person sitting open house.
Oh my
right? So it's our fault, not their fault.
And then how do you, if you're a new agent without a lot of experience, how do you leverage the team? To talk about, I helped a family out last week at this property.
Without bragging too much about someone else, yeah.
Right, because Justice, you have a lot of experience in your area, right? But if I'm new in your area and I don't have any past sales or anything, how do I leverage what the team stats are?
They just look at the team stats. I mean, 90% of the time, they don't ask you about that stuff, right? So if you establish yourself as an expert, showing the home, providing background information, providing unique things about the neighborhood, you guys all have to do that. You guys all know East Hawaii at the back of your hand, right? Like, lean on that stuff, and they're never going to wonder if you had any past sales.
I think the last time Audrey said, don't mention someone, just say the word we.
And
you get away with it.
We carry a lot of listings in this area. We've sold a lot of homes in this neighborhood. Just say we. We help a lot of families.
Just like yours.
Yeah.
We used to be a model in LA. We
yeah.
Justice knows this way. Speaking of, I will say the best lesson I ever got, I was on my first modeling job up in Santa Barbara, and they said, Ivory, how long have you been doing this? And it was my first job. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't even remember. So, same thing. When they say, how many houses have you sold? How long have you been a realtor? Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
I love that.
They just get right past it and you laugh.
0 sales in the house.
Fine.
It's gonna take that away.
But you gotta think, if the buyer is a highly analytical person who's vetting their people, they're not calling in on Zillow, right? I mean, they're doing research online, they're interviewing people, you're telling them the basic,
right. And they're finding you for
the
real.
basic client bio is they're okay working with somebody random they contact through the internet.
Yep.
So
and they don't know
it
works.
Roll it, yeah.
How many of us are doing a consultation with the buyer as we're showing? Like you're educating them about the process and teaching them on what you need to do for the next step. Okay. So a good script or a one-liner to segue into that is, hey, Justice, has anyone walked you through the current market as of March 2023? Has anyone taken the time to walk you through the market?
This
That's
is why
where the brochure comes in handy because
and
if you get off track, you have one and they have one, you know.
this is why every other team meeting I talk about the market, right? You got it off the top of your head. This month there was 292 sales in the island wide. Last last year, this month, there was 527. The market's way down. It's a great opportunity to be a buyer because there's not as much competition. You don't have to pay over asking price. Like you can just have 3 or 4 lines to spit out about them, and then you establish market credibility.
Yeah.
So,
Has anyone taken the time to walk you through the market as of March 2023? If they say yes, great, let me give you more info. If they say no, great, let me walk you through it. And then this is where you walk through it. Hey, I'm sure you know that the current interest rate is at so-and-so. What this means for you is there's less competition. You are more likely to get the home that you're looking for, and there are more homes for you to choose from because of the decreased competition. So we don't have to settle as much as we would need to if you were buying, let's say, during the pandemic. We work with a lot of sellers, and we're seeing that, and you have to know the market. In some pockets, we're seeing listing price come down. In some areas, we're seeing homes sit a little bit longer. You're going to have to tailor this to the market, and that's why it's so important when Dylan spits out facts about the market. You literally need to write it down and be able to regurgitate it back to a buyer in a way that's very convincing. So if you're like looking at your notes and you're telling them about the market, you're not the agent they're going to want to use.
What's the interest rate right now? Are we at close to 7?
yeah. Interest rate is hard because it goes up and down. And the interest rate is dependent upon
I know the person.
Yeah, so like that's, you got to call for interest rate, but the market data is definitely something, you got to have a badass 20-second response to what's the market like. Because if you don't get that question daily, then you're not wearing an EXP shirt everywhere you go, right? Like that's the question I get daily. I mean, from Jiu-Jitsu kid parents. It's always, and so I'm always going to give them, I don't want to talk for 30 minutes, right? I want to give them a very concise 30-second answer that shows them I know exactly what I'm talking about. And when they're ready to buy or sell, they're going to call me. So.
The other thing I want you to remember too, especially for newer agents, don't talk with your own budget in mind. So if you say, oh, interest rates are kind of high, well, to them, they may not care or know, right? Or if you're like, oh, that's kind of an expensive house, they may be able to afford it. It may be cheap to them. So don't put your own opinion into that. Just give them the straight out facts and why it would benefit them. In some cases.
And as a buyer, the interest rate doesn't matter. As a buyer, it matters what is your monthly payment and how much can you afford, right? The interest rate is irrelevant, really. I mean, what are you looking to spend? You should be qualified to see how much you can afford monthly. Doesn't matter what the interest rate is.
So with affordability being a challenge in some areas, and with it fluctuating between a buyer's market and a seller's market, if you're in a position where they're calling in on a neighborhood where homes are sitting a little bit, then you can say, hey, in some cases, we're seeing sellers negotiate and be willing to, pay for closing costs. We're seeing sometimes that they may be willing to work with requests for repairs. I've had cases where we had sellers pay for home warranty. Every situation is different. When we work together, be assumptive in the sales language. When we work together, I will coach you through this process and we'll come together with a strategy on how we can best win you a home in today's market. And then in some cases, we may be able to negotiate down some concessions and use that savings to help you buy down your interest rate. Has anyone ever talked to you about that? These are the things that you need to say when you're showing properties. So then they're like, oh, wow, Justice is so knowledgeable. Oh, she gave me so much information. The next thing I want you to cover in your showing is, hey, just so I know how to best communicate with you, what's your preferred method of communication? You like text, video, email, phone call? What do you prefer? That way they know to expect this from you. The next thing is say, hey, every time I show you property, I'm going to ask you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. I want to know exactly what you're looking for. If you rate it 3+, we're going to write an offer. If you rate it below so-and-so, we'll never see the home again. Are you going to be paying cash or will you need financing? This is the script. When you're in person and you want to get into financing, hey, Justice, are you going to be paying cash or will you need financing? I'm paying cash. Great, let's go check out a home. I need financing. Great, I can connect you with the lender. I want you to know that I'm unlike every other agent. When we work together, I'm going to work to create a complete file on you so that when we're ready to put in an offer, you have the highest chance of winning. So this means working together to get your pre-approval, getting your proof of funds, putting together a letter. These are all the things that I do for every client to ensure that you have the best possible chance of getting your offer accepted, and more importantly, making this easy for you. That is my goal, so that you have a great experience. And then the last thing that's important is I'm going to work so hard to negotiate on your behalf and get you as much as I can in savings or get you the home so that you have a great experience. These are all the things that I plan to do to help get you this home. You have to say these things out loud so they know that you're working hard for them.
Is there a good spot on notes on Zillow, like we just kind of discussed this morning on KV Core, where I can put all this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's in the section called notes.
Okay, great.
There's also a section called background. You can write the motivation, those things that don't change.
Timeline.
Okay, great. How do you spell notes?
So when you have to recap the process, say, hey, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. I'm going to work so hard to find you a home so that you have a great experience. Here's the timeline of next steps. I'm going to connect you with my lender. When's a good time for us to give you a call? Connect them with the lender. What does a good lender handoff sound like?
I'm going to give you two choices. I'm going to give you two lenders that I work closely with. Or three, even, if you would like. And so I'm going to go ahead and use your preferred method of communication and send them right over to you. It's up to you to connect with them, or if you'd like, I would be glad to tell them first, and they will gladly reach out to you.
Okay, good. How do we make that better?
If you already are handing out the buyer's folder, in there will have the list of lenders, and I also put a checklist of what the lenders need before they call the lender. If they don't have 2 W-2s and they're selling macaroons on Instagram, obviously they can't call the lender, so then you just kind of end it there in a sense and figure out if their spouse can do it, but it opens up questions to kind of even, qualify for a loan. So the 5 items on there is like the W-2, bank statements, I think like your ID and stuff, and then pay stubs, and it's like the amount of days they need. But the way I bring it up is when I walk through and we go over the brochure together, and let them know on page 2 there's a list of lenders there that I highly recommend, but we can use anyone that you want to work with. And I think the last part is most important, so they don't blame me if something goes wrong.
Good. My suggestion is if they want to get pre-approved, they're like, okay, I need to talk to a lender. Instead of saying, hey, here are 3 lenders, give them a call, and then let me know when you're pre-approved, or let me know when you have that conversation. Take ownership of the next step and say, hey, in this brochure, there are 3 lenders that I highly recommend. They literally make miracles happen every single day for me on this island. I highly recommend that we talk to the lender together so that we can figure out all the information that you need to provide them and walk through next steps together. When's a good time for us to jump on a call with the lender? Use more we, like you and the buyer together, talk to the lender. If you position it as, hey, you need to talk to the lender, you let me know when you're done, that's very scary. It's like a mental roadblock for first-time buyers to talk to a lender. Why? Because they're going to ask you for all this sensitive information that is kind of overwhelming to pull.
And most times, my clients don't want me to see that because of who I am in their life. So just, I guess, case by case, because I wouldn't want, if me go to my realtor, I wouldn't want her to see my bank statements, you know what I mean? In that case, you can see like our generation not wanting that, yeah. I guess it just would depend, right?
Yeah, you don't have to see it. I mean, so
Yeah.
this is me, right? I've never given 3 options. I give you 1 option. Because if that option has never let me down, right? So if you don't have that person in your life, figure out who that person is, right? When they need a lender, I tell them, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my very good friend Jamaica. We've been classmates since high school. She runs the #1 office of VIP Mortgage.
Sell them.
Rhode Island. Yes, edify them. This is like the most credible person, and she pulls rabbits out of hats.
They make miracles happen every day. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And I know at that point going forward, once that introduction is made, it's a tag team now, right? She's following up, I'm following up, she's following up, I'm following up, she's letting me know that she just made contact, she let me know that, hey, they just uploaded their final bank statement, they're good to go, this is their pre-qualification. Like, if you just let them reach out to 3 lenders, like, you have no idea if they're going to keep you updated, keep you in touch, and all that kind of stuff.
I honestly do give 2, but
Where is it in my head that you have to give 3?
That's a freaking
It's a lie.
myth. It's a myth.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Okay,
real estate
see,
myth.
I just took the test in the class, and it's like, I thought it was required.
When I
You
did
have
my
to get
NAR
3.
update, whatever 6 months ago, it was in there too. But
Listen, in the buyer folder, if there's 3, you did your job. But when you talk to
I
them,
did it in one
this
way.
guy is amazing. He literally is the one you should talk to. Talk to him first.
my
Sell it.
problem is I don't have amazing yet. It's not my fault I haven't met my match in a lender.
Match.
I'm serious. I don't
She's
have
not
one
joking.
that I love.
we did our taxes last year, and our lady was awesome. She told me this morning, yeah, I might use her again. I said, what did she do wrong? Nothing. It was perfect. It's like, what the fuck is your
No faith, you have no faith. No monogamy. You have to be monogamy.
I mean, I do like Mana, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, your buyer is not sure. So get sure.
But I don't know how to get sure. That's my point. I haven't used them personally, you know? I don't have personal experience.
I think part of it is you gotta our lending partners have to understand this program, right? Like this is not just a normal lead that is coming off the street, or it's not my friend from high school. Like this is a program, and we gotta tag team this lead together. This is a
Yeah, so I should ask them to take me to lunch and explain
and
to
that's why
them
you
the
need, I mean, unless you want to
situation.
train 3 lenders, just train one. Like train one, put them in a Kiwi course, so then you can assign them a Kiwi course. Information automatically gets sent to them. You don't have to transfer phone numbers and email addresses and notes and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, there's efficient ways to do it, but to me, you gotta have a partner that's your partner in this process who understands the program and what we're doing. So
instead of saying I'm gonna send you 3 lenders, could I say, do you
I'm
mind
gonna
if
introduce
Jamaica
you to
reaches
my
out to you?
amazing friend
After I
Monica.
introduce, after I told you about Jamaica, do you mind if Jamaica reaches out to you?
When is a
sometime?
good time
When's a
for you
good
to jump on the phone with Jamaica? Yes.
Okay. Doesn't have to be both of us on the phone.
No,
Can
but
we-
I mean, I prefer if it's their first time buying and you can tell they're nervous and they trust you, then instead of just throwing them over to the lender, say, hey, why don't we talk to them together? But if they feel pretty confident and they're good, then say, hey, when's a good time for my lender to call you? And then help book that appointment and facilitate that. I have aggressive agents that will say, if you're open to it, I can FaceTime in the lender now, or we can conference call the lender in now. Like that is the type of agent that some buyers appreciate because you're aggressive and you get stuff done and you move them forward. Up to you how you want to handle it. You have to read the buyer and determine the best next steps. But the worst handoff is, here's 3 lenders, tell me when you're ready, or let me know when you've gotten the info. They're not going to call you.
That's true, because when you call those people back later, they usually say, I haven't talked to them.
Yeah. So you don't want to overwhelm them or confuse them. Make it very clear and simple what the next steps are. So before we go into our next break, every appointment has one of 2 outcomes. These are the only 2 outcomes of every appointment. It's number 1, write an offer. That's option 1. This is the script. Justice, read this.
Based on everything we covered today, let's submit an offer on this home. I'll have a draft ready for us to review by 3 p.m. Are you free to discuss over the phone?
This is option 1. This is the outcome of the appointment. Option 2, next outcome. Ivory, read this.
Based on what we covered today, I would love to get on your calendar again over the next few days to see some more homes that have the X factor you're looking for. Does this Friday at 4 p.m. work for you? I'll send a calendar invite now to your email.
These are the only 2 options that happen at the end of an appointment. If you're not getting one of these 2 options, you're doing it wrong. The worst option is, all these homes are garbage. Okay, so I'm going to send you some more listings, and if you see something you like, let me know. How many of us are guilty of doing that? That's the wrong option. It's either an offer or an appointment. What if we know they're not ready? Like they are in the military, and they're in the military, they don't know if they're going to relocate here. You can still book an appointment on when they plan to hear from you next, right? What if they're not financially qualified? You met them and they told you they're unemployed. We can still book an appointment on when they can hear from you. So every appointment has one of these 2 outcomes. If you don't get one of these 2 outcomes, don't come home. Like, get one of these 2. Any questions about showings?
And what happens if they want to write the offer, but you're booked for the next 4 hours picking up your kids and doing X, Y, and Z?
An amazing
Ask the KK.
Absolutely, right? Like, Andrew, how many times do you get the phone call? I just left the show, and MLS is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They want to offer 2.7, 30% down. Jamaica's doing the loan, like. And by the time, like, literally, like, within 30 minutes, the buyer has a offer in their inbox, and I didn't even, I'm still in the car, right? Like,
So we're all supposed to have an amazing brother.
That's right.
Absolutely, like, that's the customer experience,
Yeah,
right? Like, not like, oh, I'm really busy this afternoon, and you'll hear from me at 10 o'clock tonight, right? That's like the worst. They're, like, excited. They want to make an offer. They want to get this in. Like, you gotta play off that excitement and make it deliver, right? So.
Any questions before we go into offers? Okay, so we're going to take a 3-minute break. You can make a phone call, go to the bathroom, get water, and then we'll come back in 3 minutes at 2:45.
And you're
Be my new brother.
Like literally my daughter sitting in the car, like driving, even driving a minute.
The only reason why we asked was I asked you.
Yeah, in case that we would have to in the house.
Yeah. Just do it.
You said that you did.
Yeah, what's the wrong
Then we can do that. Yeah, your price dropped.
What is this?
Beginning of the meeting, hey, they're gonna get official engagement.
I'm okay. You're okay.
Snap.
Okay, I'll take one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Oh, I gotta swap that out real quick.
Maybe say that.
Thank you.
But I'll be the one doing the negotiation.
You can be my last one.
How are you? Good.
I'm no longer going to be able to afford options for a while. So don't be afraid you see me next.
And just like that, 3 minutes has gone by.
Sorry, grab the car.
That was quick.
The rest is not really.
Alright, so now let's talk about submitting offers. There is a method to the madness for submitting a strong offer. And so when you get the connection call, your goal is to build rapport, book the appointment, get that appointment. When you tour properties with them, your job is to find out their motivation, demonstrate your value, educate them on the process and the market, secure their business. Tell them you want to help them. You want to earn their business. Now it's time to submit offers. Your job is to help them win the home. Arguably, this is the most important part of the process, is to win them the home, get them that outcome. And then obviously when you close, your job is to take care of your client, ask for referrals. That's how you build a business that pays itself forward. So when you're submitting offers, it's really, really important that you showcase your local expertise. So, hey, no problem, I'm buds with a listing agent, or I know this, I've done a lot of transactions with this guy, or I live in this area, I know the market really well. You know, here's how we're going to strategize to get your offer accepted. So after this training, I'm going to send you some links to a couple really easy websites on Zillow that give you access to data. So this will help you in providing insight to the consumer about market trends. But pretty much, we talked about this, but we are expecting a decline on the number of transactions this year. That's okay. It's not doom and gloom. It just means that we have to work harder to help consumers find a home. An interesting thing to know is that 1 in 5 people intend to purchase with either friends or family supporting them. And then the next thing is we expect home prices this year to be pretty flat relative to other markets.
What's the YOY again?
Year over year.
Year over year. Year over year decrease. So just know this year we expect a 7% decline on the number of transactions. It's okay. So in building the offer, I gave you the magic question. It's, hey, would you like to write an offer? That's the question you have to ask after you show property. And we surveyed all of our top agents across the country last year on their process for submitting offers and getting more offers accepted. And surprisingly, 75% of our top agents said that they talk about the offer process when they first meet the buyer. You have to talk about it. You're not just there to show homes and open doors for no reason. You're there to sell them a house. You're there to solve a solution, provide a solution to their needs. So you need to talk about it when you show property. You have to discuss the process. So when you're discussing the offer process, one, you need to educate them. Hey, have you ever written an offer before? Yes? Awesome. Let me update you on what we need to do. No? No problem. Let me walk you through the exact process. You have to cover market conditions. So here's what to expect for this neighborhood or for this area. You need to know how many days homes are sitting for. comps. You need to know the average prices, what homes in the area sold for. That's the homework and research you should know before you go and meet them. When it's time to write an offer, you should have already done a CMA. I honestly think you should do CMAs before you show property, but if you're busy, I get it. But the reason why I think you should do CMAs before you show is because when you're showing them the home, naturally, if you have an analytical buyer, what are they going to ask?
What's the price per square foot around this area? What's the other houses going for?
And more importantly, what's your opinion on the price?
On the price.
That is your job. That is your job, is to give a professional opinion on the price. So you need to do a CMA. And then embrace the buyer's mindset. So help them make the decision that's best for them. Help them navigate that. Ask them questions that lead them to the offer. So if we don't get this home, what would happen? If we do get this home, what would that do for you? Let's talk about your monthly payment. Is this something that you can work into your budget? This slide, I think, is your most important. So successful offers that get submitted, they don't start when you write the offer. When does successful offer submission start? When you book the showing. The day you book the showing is the day that you are working on getting your offer accepted, right? So when you book the showing, remember, you should have talked to the listing agent, you should have gotten all the info about the home, you should have pre-negotiated for your buyer. This is your chance to show them why you're an amazing professional to work with. So you need to build rapport, right? Call them, introduce yourself. This is when you book the showing. Ask what their preferred method of communication is. Hey, I want to make this transaction the easiest possible deal you ever do. I want to make this, Mr. Listing Agent, your best experience. What's your preferred method of communication? And then whatever they say, make a note of it. Hey, what would it take for us to get a deal done? What are you looking for in an offer? And then you have to over-communicate when you submit an offer on behalf of your buyer. So you communicate before the showing, you get all the info, you get everything they need to know. After the showing, what should you do? What should you do? Call the listing agent and give them feedback on the home. Why do they want the feedback?
To see if their price is right.
So they can share it with the seller to see if their price is right. And it also gives you a chance to show them your communication skills. Do most agents call the listing agent after a showing? No. Are you most agents?
Nope.
You're better than that. So you communicate with them. Show them that you are a good person to work with. Then when it's time to write an offer, you have another conversation with them. You get more details to strategize the best offer. You need the ammo on what it's going to take to get our offer accepted. Then when you submit the offer, you communicate with them again. Over-communicate. Hey, I just submitted an offer on 123 Banana Street, including all the terms that we discussed over the phone. Please let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything that you suggest we change to put us in the best possible position to at least get a counter. Over-communicate. So I know you're probably thinking, okay, now it's time to write the offer. What should I talk to? What should I ask them? So number one, hey, what would make a winning offer from your client's perspective? This is one question in your script. Other than price, what's important to your seller? Why is this question important?
Because maybe price isn't most important, but selling it next week is.
What are some other terms that are important aside from price?
Time.
Time? Like what?
How fast we can close, or if they need more time. We need to live here for 2 more months. Great, we can do a rent back, whatever.
Good. Other than price, what are some other terms or other things we can negotiate that are important to the seller?
Paying for staking or not. Staking and survey.
What else?
I'll keep going. Cleaning.
I'll keep going.
This client doesn't want to clean anymore. They want it as is. They don't want to do work. So
Are there any specific terms your client is looking for? Get all the information that their seller wants, and then you kind of have to kiss the listing agent's ass, but say hey Dylan, is there anything that you're looking for in an offer?
Dinner for 2 at...
Really quick to the group, what other questions have you found the most success when you talk to the listing agent prior to writing an offer?
Escrow company.
Huh?
Escrow company.
Okay, good. What escrow company would you like? What else? What other questions do you ask the listing agent?
how many people on the, who's gonna be in the contract.
Okay, good. Now, when we talk about offer components, number one, you have to educate your buyers on the current market. So if it's a seller's market in this neighborhood, educate them. We need to go over asking, at least at asking. Here are all the homes in this area that went at or over asking. Provide them with the data. Discuss the budget. Hey, walk me through what monthly payment you're comfortable with. You have to talk in not like real estate language, but just plain, like simple for a consumer. What monthly payment are you comfortable with? What's important to the seller? So you have to find out what's going to get the seller to accept your offer. Why is the seller looking to move? What are the terms they're looking for? And then educate and communicate that back to your buyers so they know that you're working hard for them behind the scenes.
And what if the listing agent says, I know we're on market 104 days, but this seller's super stubborn and they really don't want to go under ask?
Find out why. Aside from the price, what are the terms that they need? Are they comfortable letting this home sit even longer? What would happen if it doesn't sell? What happens if you lose this listing? Just build rapport and connect with them and get the info. Say, hey, I know you don't want to lose this listing. What do we need to do to put a deal together? Is there anywhere we can compromise or meet in the middle?
And if not, then you just tell your buyer that. Just hey, buyer, I know you want to come in at 140. They told me 179 is their lowest. I mean, we can try 170 is what I would personally say. Just because everyone thinks that 179 is their lowest, but really they'll probably take 170 if the rest of it looks good.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
Yeah. And then see if there are other ways you can try to negotiate with the seller. Some questions you can ask when a buyer's on the fence is, hey, how would you feel if you lost your dream home, this home, by $5K? What if it was $10K? Another question is, at what price, when I call you and tell you that this property already closed, are you going to feel really frustrated that you didn't offer that?
Right.
When it's a seller's market, a good strategy for putting together pricing or where we should start at in an offer is obviously run the comps, provide them with the data, and say, hey, we need to come in at our best, where even if the winning offer was a penny over yours, you would think that's insane. That's how strong we need to come in at. When it's a very competitive market and it's a seller's market, you want to make sure you're leveraging contingencies the best way that you can. So here are all the options in which you can negotiate into your offer. I know you guys know this. And then when you submit, so here are the key things that you need to do. It's your job. One, if you just send the buyer the offer and you don't walk them through it, why is that bad?
This is 14 pages that they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand it. And if they don't understand it, will they sign it? Will they feel comfortable? You have to guide them through it. So, hey, when we meet today at 4 o'clock, I'm going to walk you through the offer and point out all the key things you need to know so that you understand this. Make sure that the entire offer is complete. When we did our survey, we learned that most times agents are submitting incomplete offers, and that already makes you look bad because it looks like you're not someone that's professional and great to work with. So do your best to make sure that your offer is complete. And then be consistent and organized. So Dylan has an SOP and a training for submitting strong offers. Make sure that you're following that so that you check off all the terms that you're doing. You looked under every rock and you made this offer as strong as possible. If you're a new agent and you're unsure, run it by your mentor. Run it by a broker. Have them do a quick once over. It takes 5 minutes. You don't look dumb. You're doing your best to represent your buyer. So when you prepare and submit an offer, you have to package it up as cleanly as possible. So include an intro letter. I wouldn't say love letter. It depends on the market. In some cases, it's illegal. Make sure you include a pre-qual letter, fully pre-approved. Make sure you include all the financing info that's important for them to know. Provide proof of funds. Provide the fully complete purchase contract. And then a copy of their EMD. And then package it together in a cover letter that makes it very easy for the listing agent to look over. So where you're offering at, their financing, like all the terms in a clean cover letter. And then what I've seen top agents do is they will package it all up into one PDF, so it's not a bunch of different files. They send it to the agent, the listing agent, and then what they do is take a screenshot of the cover letter, and then they text the listing agent and say, hey, I just submitted this offer. Here's a recap of my terms. I can't wait to work with you. Let me know if you have any questions.
just to not confuse the new agents, we rarely do that copy of an earnest money check, right, Dylan? Very rare on this island, just so you guys know. No big deal, but just don't want to confuse them.
Actually, just don't.
We don't,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't want to see their bank account number or none of that.
Okay, no problem.
If it's a cash offer, you can include cash funds.
For sure, proof of funds is good, but yeah, I know that other places do, so no worries.
So if your offer is rejected, here are the things that you should do as best practice. Number one, you got to connect with the listing agent and try to get some context.
Can I qualify that real fast? Because this is a question you'll get from your buyers, right? Do you need my earnest money? So in some states, the brokerage will take their earnest money and deposit it into their brokerage account and like have that available for when they do open escrow. And like in our state, you write the check directly to escrow when you open escrow, right? So that's your response when a buyer asks you, do you need my earnest money now or whatever? Because the answer is no, don't ever take money from your buyer. Okay?
That's good to know it's normal in other states. I didn't know.
Yeah, it really is.
The practice of real estate varies very different from state to state. So
and we can carry one check of theirs that's written to it for one day, can't I? Can't I hold that?
No, I need a broker, I think.
Well, you can't deposit it.
No
I mean,
deposit.
you can like take it and deliver it to escrow.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if your offer is rejected, do your best to try to get info from the listing agent on why. Then when you talk to your buyer, lead with empathy. Don't be like, I told you so, you didn't listen to me. Like, lead with empathy. And then here's an example of what you can say. Hey, Sally, I just spoke with the listing agent. The seller unfortunately did not accept our offer. Here's why. And here's what we're going to do now. We're a team. You and the buyer are a team. Here's our plan now. And coach them through it. If the buyer is still interested in the home, see if there's something else that we can do to put in a backup offer. Don't give up. The worst thing is when you get a call for a Zillow lead and they're calling on a home that's already pending and you're like, oh, we can't see that home. See if you can put in a backup. See if the listing agent's open to taking backup offers and then still keep this as an option. And then set a game plan on when we're going to meet again to look at more homes if your offer gets accepted. And what we're going to do differently next time to get them a winning solution. Some things you can do if their offer is rejected and they're still looking online. Make sure, I know we went over this with KV Core, you can see what homes they're saving on your site. You can also do it on Zillow, so check out their activity and see if they're saving or viewing homes. Either activity should prompt a conversation for you to reach out proactively to schedule those showings. And then let's say their offer is accepted. Make sure that you are going through the due diligence process and coaching them through it, and then communicating to them the next steps in terms of deadlines. So, hey, here's the deadline for loan contingency and approval. Here's when we plan to close escrow. Here's the appraisal and inspection, and just explain it to them. Just simplify it in terms and coach them through it, and then keep them updated along the way. Oftentimes, when it's time to open escrow, it's a very scary time for a buyer because there's so many moving pieces and timelines. It's your job to keep them on track and just over-communicate and explain to them. Any questions so far? Okay, we're going to segue into nurturing. Sound good? Okay. So, why is it important that we show our work in KV Core and the PA app about what's going on with the lead?
Accountability.
Good. You have to move leads down the funnel. Do you remember what happens with every single lead if you have maybe over 100 leads in your database? No. I mean, I don't even remember what happened yesterday. How would you remember on a buyer that you showed 6 months ago, right? Especially if they're off island. So it's really important that you show your work because you have to work it like a pipeline. It's a sales pipeline. So you should know who's going to buy in 90 days, who's going to buy in 180 days, who's going to buy in 1 year, 2 years. That's how you build a sales pipeline. So in order for you to be effective at that, you have to get your shit together and write good notes in KV Core and the PA app. Right now, they don't speak together 2 ways, but we're working on it eventually if that ever happens. So here's an example of a really bad note. Showed homes on Saturday. Who can read this note?
Oh. I thought you meant like, could we physically read it?
Can you read this out loud?
Showed 123 Banana Street, loves the home, but the backyard is not big enough. They need to be able to put a trampoline because the daughter Haley does gymnastics at Wildfire in Aliso. Headed to national championships next month.
Why is this a good note?
Because it has lots of detail.
What could you say when you follow up next month?
Hey, how did Haley do at the championship?
Yeah. What can you say when you want to show them another home that is about to be coming soon? What's some detail you can give them to sell them on it?
You're gonna love it. The backyard's huge. They already have a trampoline.
There you go. I want to buy it. But if your note is just this, and it's 8 months from now, are you going to remember that a trampoline in a big backyard is important to them? Are you going to remember who Haley is? No. Here's an example of another note I see. Status unchanged as of November 1st, 2022. Kelly, can you read this?
Buyer is not able to qualify for a loan. DTI ratio is too high. Already had a consult with Christian, and they need to pay down credit card debt by $15,000 in order to be able to qualify for a buy down. Buyer has a plan in place on how to accomplish this. Daughter has a sweet tooth and plays soccer at some mainland school district, and the dad is a big LeBron fan. Have tasks set up to connect on how they're doing.
So why is this note good?
You can ask them later on if they finish paying off their credit card debt.
Good. What else?
Mm-hmm.
What else could you use from this note when you follow up again next month?
That you connected them with Christian?
Yeah.
What
Did
else?
he pay down his credit card debt?
Good.
I would bring some sweets for her daughter.
Yeah, you have to remember when you're nurturing leads, let's say they're a year out from buying, if every single month you're like, hey, did you pay down your credit card debt? Did you pay it down yet? You're so annoying.
Yeah.
What are some other things you can say to nurture a relationship?
Have you guys seen the new Dylan candy store on Oahu?
Yes.
Super awesome. You're gonna love it.
What's another way you can nurture a relationship?
Oh, I heard LeBron was hooking up with a Kardashian.
Yeah. Hey, there's a brand new bakery that just opened in Hilo. Have you heard of it yet? Here's an example of another note I see. Send offer.
Not so good.
Lay, can you read this?
Submitted offer on 123 Banana Street, 20K under asking, was not accepted. Home has been sitting on the market for only 15 days. Have great rapport with listing agent and confirmed our offers and as a backup. Have tasked set to check in with listing agent every 4 days on escrow status and meantime on a showing schedule. Required to view model units and Saturday 10 a.m. Will bring some lattes.
Soy latte.
Soy lattes.
Oh. Soy.
This is important because what if you break both your legs and you can't show property anymore? Then you need, someone else to cover for you. They should be able to pull up a note and be like, I got this. It can help you. So in terms of follow-up, and this is even more so in a market like yours because you have buyers that are more long-term or need to be nurtured or are not on island, some stats for you to know. Just to engage with someone, to get someone to respond to you, it takes at least 16 touches over 2 to 4 weeks. A text is a touch, a call is a touch, an email is a touch. You have to be aggressive and persistent and consistent with your follow-up. But the problem is, with real estate agents, 44% give up after one attempt. So, lazy. Most agents will call once and be like, oh, they didn't respond, it's a bad lead. But I called the lead a month later, they already bought. It takes 6 phone call attempts just to get someone to answer the phone. Did you know that? You have to call quite a few times. It's not that they're a bad lead, it's because they're busy. Life happens. How many times have you had someone try to follow up with you? But they call and you're in a meeting. They call and you're at soccer. They call and you're at the gym. They call and you're at an appointment. Sometimes it's just not a good time. It doesn't mean they're not interested. You have to be persistent and consistent with the follow-up. So when you follow up, just remember you're never bugging them if you are bringing value, if you are following up with something, if you are trying to coach them through something. If you just say, how's your home search going every single time, you're not providing value. You're just being really annoying. And then 3, the average touches before a conversion happens from lead to potential customer is at least 16. So remember, when you take a phone call and you book that appointment, that guy's not your client yet. You have to earn the right for them to be your client. So it takes multiple touches before a conversion happens where now they want to work with you. So some key things to know about nurturing is one, all the leads you get, based on their timeline, you have to segment them into buckets. So there's people who are now, they tell you they're 1 to 3 months from buying. There's people who are 3 to 6 months, and then there's people who are 6 months or longer. The trick is, whatever timeline the buyer tells you, you have to cut that time in half. So you have to do like some math in your head. So if I said, hey, I'm a year out from buying, where are they? 1, 2, or 3? 2. Good. Hey, I'm just looking, I'm probably 6 months out. Where am I?
1 to 3.
1 to 3. That's the trick. Whatever they tell you, cut the time in half. The problem is with brand new agents, they tell you the time and you like take it for what it is. You have to cut the time in half and then put them in the bucket. And then whatever bucket they're in dictates the frequency and cadence of your follow-up. So if they're in the now bucket, you have to talk to them at least once a week and get them into showings until they're in escrow. If they're in the 3 to 6 month bucket, you have to talk to them at least 1 to 2 times a month until they move into the 1 to 3 months bucket. If they're in the 6 months or longer, you need to talk to them once every 2 months until they move into this bucket. And by talk to, I mean you have to have like at least a 2-minute conversation with them where they know who you are and they've connected with you and you provided some sort of value and you learned something about them and you move them to the next stage. This is like a methodical way on how to follow up with people. So if it's important what you say, right? So who can read this example, what not to say?
I bet just checking to see. Checking to see if you have any questions or any insight on listings from search.
You don't want to say this. Why?
Boring.
Julia, can you read this?
Hi, Beth. So I see a couple homes on Zillow right now. I think the first one, especially, is a great contender because it has the finished basement with the 2-floor running.
Why is this better?
Specific.
Specific. It has the finished basement you're looking for. I recommend you send video messages. How many of you are doing that? Especially if your buyer's off island, you should just selfie style record a quick video of you talking to them and then text it to them. That way they can put a face to the name. Here's a video script you could use. When I say basic, it means just like simple and bad. Here's the better one. So if it were me and I want to be a badass agent, convert Zillow leads all day, I would, like I said, preview properties and record a video, and I would send it to the buyer, and then I would record a video of me saying this script. So I would say, hey Sam, I know it's been a while since we've connected. I just saw this house 123 Banana Street, and it is an amazing home. Here's why. It made me think of you because it has the open floor plan you're looking for. It's got the lanai. It's got the pool. It's 10 minutes from your office. This is a steal of a deal. I think we should check it out. When are you free? And then record it and send it to them. This is an example of a follow-up call, but the most important thing about it is when you get indifferent and they're like, oh yeah, Monica, I'm busy right now. Now's not a good time. Just say, hey, no problem. We'll make this quick. I've been keeping an insanely close eye on the market for you, and I found a home I think you're going to love. We should definitely check it out. Say this. Do you have to be like keeping a close eye and looking at every single listing for them? No. But if you say this and you're confident behind it, it's going to make them feel like, oh yeah, he's working hard for me. These are some things that I call pokeables. So they're like scripts that you can use to poke someone to remind them that you exist and you're their agent and you're there. So let's say they're a year out from buying and they just need to be nurtured. You can Google real estate news in the city they're looking in. So let's say they're looking in Hilo. I would type real estate in Hilo and then find a news article that's interesting and positive and then text it to them. But if the news article is like murder rates at an all-time high in this community, don't send that to them. So positive real estate article and then say, hey Dylan, I just found this article on this neighborhood in Hilo that I thought you might find interesting, and send it to them. And be like, how are you doing? And now you're prompting a conversation. It's just a conversation starter that's not, are you ready to get pre-approved? Are you ready to check out homes? Zillow liked your saved homes. How many of us are looking at what homes buyers are viewing and saving on Zillow and reaching out to them about it? Raise the hands. Oh my gosh. You got to be doing it every day for like 15 minutes. Just go through your contacts in your PA app and look at the ones that are viewing and saving homes. You have to proactively check it. You have to go in and see what they're doing, because how many times have buyers told you they're looking for X and you find they're actually looking at Y? It happens all the time because you may be showing homes, and I call it pillow talk. They go home with their spouse and they're in their bed and they're just chatting, and all of a sudden their search changed. All of a sudden their needs changed. And now they're looking at that. So whatever their activity is on Zillow, it leaves clues for you, and you need to look at those clues and act on it and do something about it. So I would look at what homes they're viewing and saving, and then this is the script that I would use. Justice, can you read the script?
Hi, Richard. Zillow pinged me and let me know that you are in love with 123 Banana Street in Sun City Valley. I am actually going to be in the area tomorrow if you wanted me to shoot a quick little video tour for you, or better yet, are you free to come?
This sounds so normal.
Yeah.
It sounds like you texting them, right? So this is a script that works. Look at what home they're viewing and then send this to them and then prompt a conversation. I can send you a video tour, or better yet, come with me. Let's go check it out.
And that being on video, also great, right?
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
Is anyone scared that
To
we're going to
save
just
kings?
convert so much leads and I'm going to die of too much money? I'm scared. Are we all scared? I'm scared as shit.
How many of you?
Guys, I'm busy for the next 3 months. We'll talk to you.
Here's perspective though, right? Like perspective, like even with 21 conversions last month, like there's no reason that couldn't double, right? There's no reason I couldn't even do 40
That's what's
conversions a
scary.
month. Like yeah, so like anybody who wants to do like 75 transactions next year is totally available. So
Hey, how many of you? It's always when you go out of town when all of a sudden all these things have to happen. Life happens that way. People want to work with agents who are productive and busy. So if you have nothing to do, fake it. Hey Dylan, a client I was supposed to show properties in Hilo just got called into work, so I'm free on Saturday. You want to go check out properties with me? I have all these amazing homes lined up. Just pretend.
That's cute.
This one I really like. Can someone read this one? I call it off-market bait.
Go, Jasmine.
Okay. Hi, Richard. I'm spending some time today cold calling for off-market properties in Riverside for you. I was curious if you had any other areas that I should have on my radar. What other neighborhoods should we add to the list?
Do you really have to cold call properties just to send this text?
Nope.
No. But how does that make your buyer feel?
Like you're busy. You do a lot.
the purpose behind upcoming listings during the team meeting is for you to hear about what's coming up on the team from other agents, and then you can make this call, right? I just got on my team meeting that this great house coming up in HPP. I think it fits your needs. Would you like to see it before it hits the market, right? So
What I hate is agents who meet the buyer and you set them up on a search so they get listings from the MLS, and then they go, if you see something, let me know and we can go check it out. Why does that suck?
Because it's not engaging. It's not. It's just leaving them.
Yeah. Also, I love, you should set them up on a search. They should receive listings from the MLS, but you're not really providing extra value that makes them see your value. So buyers today, they want an aggressive agent. I want to work with an agent who is the walking MLS. When listings hit, they already saw it, they know that it's not good for me and here's why. And then if it's limited inventory, don't be like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't find you a home, there's no homes. Find the home. Cold call. Circle prospect. Door knock. Talk to other listing agents that may have other homes. Like literally find the home. Be aggressive. That's the agent that people want. So this is a really good script because you don't have to be like actually cold calling for off markets, but if you tell buyers that, they'll be like, wow, Justice, the 6 other agents I called would never do that for me.
the beauty of our market and there's the low activity is every single day, if you look on the MLS update, you should be able to look at every single new listing that comes to the market, right? There's like 4, 5, 6, maybe 10. Like you should look at every one. So in 3 days, when you get the call from the Zillow buyer, you'd be like, oh, I was just looking at that one. It looks amazing. The backyard has all kinds of fruit trees. Like you know it on the top of your head if you're looking at the update every day and looking at open every new listing, flip through all the pictures. If there's a video tour, take the video tour. Like take the 10 minutes every day and do that. Because now you know exactly what the market is, and when they call you, right off the top of your head, I was just looking at that house. It's amazing. It has a great view of Bay, whatever it is. So
If I could give you advice and you're a brand new agent, if you don't have appointments that day, you should be going out looking at property. You should be looking at what homes that are hitting the market and go do a drive-by. Go take a look. Call the listing agent. Just get info. Be the walking MLS. If you're a brand new agent and you don't have appointments that day, sit in Justice's car. Sit in someone's car who does have appointments and shadow them. Soak in what they're doing, and through osmosis, make yourself better. See how they talk to customers. Check out property. You should be doing this every day. That is how you're going to get better. If you make excuses and you say, oh, well, I don't have appointments and I got my kids and so, that is going to be a reflection of the income that you see in 90 days. So if it were me and I had a 2-year-old and they were crazy, but I didn't have any appointments with clients, I'd be like, hey, 2-year-old, let's go look at homes. I would just take them with me.
Tours, baby.
Yeah, I would take a look.
And if I could just plug really quick, our East Side HIR caravans are Monday and Wednesday mornings virtual, and if there's another, did I say Monday? I meant first and third Wednesdays virtual, and then if there's another Wednesday of the month, that one will be live. And that's another great way. And Zillow buyers love to hear, oh, I just saw that one on Caravan yesterday. Oh, Caravan.
I was
sounds
just
fancy.
there. Yeah, I just talked to the broker.
Yep.
I just talked to the seller. I just saw that house. They love that. You are offering them value that they can't get themselves. So we're going to wrap up now. We're going to quickly go around the room. I want you to share one thing that you learned today that you plan to implement into your business. So let's start with you. Okay, we'll come back to you.
Oh, wait, I got
Okay.
it. I really liked how you, like putting together a folder for when you go out to showings and having all the information for them to review. I haven't done that yet, so I really want to start.
Okay, good. Spend 30 minutes, make 50 of them, put it in your car.
I like the 16 sections.
Be persistent. If you only do it once, it's not enough.
Yep.
Probably closing the deal after you do the showing, because I'm definitely guilty of kind of going off after show. So.
Yeah, you're in sales. Your job is to get the appointment or write an offer. Don't let them leave. And don't go home unless you get one of those 2 outcomes.
We're going to be the same. We can make sure they ask for the offer.
How does that sound? What question would you ask?
You want to go down, put in an offer.
Yeah. Do you want to write an offer? It's that simple.
I love just when's a good time. I had never really put it into just those terms. All of your, it sounded like every single objection. Great, when's a good time for us to do that? Okay, got that. When's a good time for us to jump on another call? I like that a lot. And
Let me get on your calendar.
Yes, and then my other one was, I forget, but it was really good. It was, okay, go and I'll think of it.
Alrighty. Mine was the lending conversation that we had. I've never once told someone that we jump on a call with you. I can think of many people that I should have did it with, but I can also think of a handful that it would have been beneficial for them because they must have been scared. And I never put myself in their shoes like that. So that was super cool for me.
Read your buyer. Like, put yourself in there. You can tell. You can tell if they're nervous. You can tell if maybe it would be better if you held their hand.
Same thing I was gonna say about the lending. Yeah, hype the person out, like Jamaica or whoever we're gonna.
What are you gonna
help
say?
them out.
They make miracles happen every damn day. Like, you gotta call this guy.
For me, it was like what to bring when you first meet a Zillow potential buyer. Like what to present to them, like the folder and what kind of information I should have. Instead of just open up the house and bring the MLS, like what other things I could add when I show up.
And just a reminder, you need to be professional. So if you show up like just off the beach or in yoga pants, like I think you should look your best self and be presentable because it sets you apart from other agents. Just another thing to remember. Leah, what about you?
I really like your answers, so I kind of want to practice those answers. Yeah, it's a lot. So this is going to be on this recording. And then you have the
slides, yeah, we'll send it to you.
So yeah, that's going to be my thing.
Good.
Thing.
Okay. Call an agent and practice.
Yeah.
I like the question, what support do you need from me to help you through this process?
Good.
I like that question.
I like that you are not bugging people if you're adding value for the follow-up game. I feel like that's where I'm struggling. After a show, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should but I am adding value to their life, so I don't know why I'm being so hesitant to
My
follow
goal is
up.
to help you find a home. And I want you to have an amazing life here because I love it here. And I believe that people should have their own home. Mm-hmm. So if you believe that and you find ways to help them with that, you're not bothering them.
Mm-hmm. I would have to say asking for their business and just assuming, just educating more because like Devin said, they don't really know, like they'll show it to you and then call someone else to write an offer.
So how does that sound? Role play with me, asking me for my business. Okay, great. This was so fun. I love seeing all these homes. This is really cool. Thank you for your time.
I would definitely like to help you, with your real estate goals and ask for your business if you would be willing to work with me and I can provide great service for you.
Good. That's it. Hey, I want to help you find a home. I will work so hard for you every single day. I won't let go. Give me the opportunity to earn your business. Can you imagine if someone said that to you? I'd be like, all right, earn it. Okay. If they know that you're committed and you're going to work hard for them, then they're going to be willing to respond to you. They're going to give you the info you need. Like, be genuine about it. Okay, you guys, what did you learn?
Well, I took a ton of notes on the buyer packet and formalizing that as a training and as a process and templated so it's easier for everybody because I think we go all out for sellers where we have all this crazy stuff for sellers and then buyers are just like, still the buyer, so it's going to go out and do nothing, right? Like, so we got to be more serious about the buy side of it.
And I would come up with a one-pager for leaseholds, a one-pager for all of the land nuances so that it's like quick grab, ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Same thing on the buyer thing. It's been something we've been kicking around, so I think this is a good start. And Justice has a lot of different resources too. And then I think the next thing is being intentional about some of the trainings and things that we provide to everybody. A lot of the things we just assume, right? You're in this business, you're a realtor. We've been, you got into it. We have a sales background. You have different kinds of things, and just being more intentional to get down to the nitty gritty and some of those not basic understandings, but foundational kinds of things that needs to be listened to just kind of level everybody up. So it's a good reminder.
Good. And if you're a brand new agent and you choose to sit in Justice's car or Ivory's car or Dylan's car, Andrew's car, why don't you plan to go to the showing, 30 minutes early, and 10 minutes out of those 30, you show Justice the home. So you can put your skills to the test, right? Hey, Justice, can I show you the home? Okay, I'll show you.
Yeah, I remembered my third one. It was those, what was my second one? It was those notes, like the LeBron, the Haley, like I remember them still because, the championship, I think those are the best, those nurturing, because that's the stuff you're going to forget. And then you have 100 of them, like you said, and it's like, I know nothing about these people. And then you're going to be like, Jamie, like the follow-up feels really awkward. Like, hi, I don't know who you are, but you're in my phone, so I thought I would give you a fine house. Hawaii, East Side.
All right, so the backpack. Dylan, Monica, who have the most engagement?
I don't want to choose.
That's hard. Well, I'm sorry. I figure it out.
You can nominate and we'll do it on control.
Audrey, have you seen the SNL Zillow video?
Yeah. That's when you know you made it as a company. You hit SNL.
Play
Yeah.
it, play it. It's so funny. I send it to all my Zillow buyers.
Oh my god.
You guys not seen this?
I haven't.
Did you know that his dad is his dad? His dad is just freaking his real dad in real life.
That's right.
Amazing animal. I love this thing.
Yeah, we watch.
I would never live in North Carolina, but if I did, I could buy a big, gross mansion.
So what are you waiting for? Pick up your phone now. Open the app and tell us what you really want. Tell yourself or go wild and invite your partner.
Guest houses.
If you don't mind, can we do like a quick team photo?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yep.
I make my favorite thing.
Stagger.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm right there. Everybody kind of lean in.
Okay.
Alrighty.
How's this look?
Good in. Can we get closer? Can I have somebody? I think very good.
What do you want?
Jasmine and Julia come in right here.
Stand up over here.
Well, since you're being nice, then you need your water bottle. So I didn't give it to us. The water bottle you crush when you're watching that commercial.
Here, I'll just wrap that up there now. I don't have to do that. Here we go.
Good.
Everybody lean in.
Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, what about you? We can do a timer so you get in here.
I'm good. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you wanted a what?
A quick like vertical, just going like this across everybody
Like
for,
this?
for a reel. Yeah.
Yeah, for a
Everybody go,
reel.
woo!
Ready? Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Give us a gun back.
If you want to bet, or you can nominate somebody. So was there somebody that you saw that should go in the junket pole contest for the bag?
I think Ivory and I shouldn't get the bag.
Okay,
So
so
it's a
you
prize.
That's a good idea. 'Cause
Junket
I
pole.
think I should. So
You know, I would just give it to the person that has the highest conversion in the last 6 months.
there you go. That definitely won't be me, but that might be you
We get the
now.
analytic guy. Audrey, I have a quick question before we end.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a really crazy request, but can you make like a start your morning with Audrey and put it on YouTube so we can watch it every morning? And like whatever you did just here, just do that on the thing.
Oh,
And then we
sure.
can stay when we're getting ready and then we'll be ready.
You know,
for
there's
it.
a song I listen to every morning. It's called Amazing, and the guy literally says, "You look amazing," and it's like over and over. I'll send it to you. I love it.
And wait, Audrey, are you a licensed realtor or have been?
No, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting my license.
You know a lot, that's why.
Yeah,
I had a
I'm thinking
feeling
about
for it, but I was like, this is the person I've heard that isn't and knows the most.
Yeah.
Are you joining the team?
Should I?
Yeah.
I feel like I would run you guys in circles. Can you imagine? I'd be in my car writing offers, booking showings, taking Zillow calls, and I would get to the house, and I would already have the offer submitted. And I would show property. And then as I'm driving to my next house,
Perfect.
I'd be like, Monica, offer this, blah, 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 terms, okay, send it. And I would go to the next showing.
Perfect, I'll ride along with
Yeah.
you, okay?
Just as long as I'm your mentor, do it, girl.
And then if the buyer called in and I can't show the home, I'll be like, okay, go to this property and then meet me at this property. And then when they go to the other property, I tell the listing agent, hey, that's my client, okay? They're going to come to 123 Banana Street right now.
All right. Teja's the winner.
Crushing it.
Crushing it.
Thank you guys for coming. This was so fun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys.
Hey, and everybody, use the office, all right? It's here. Use it. Open the doors. People walk in, guaranteed. Yeah, so.
Wednesdays, meetings on Wednesdays are here starting next week. Nice. What is today? Monday. We started?
Well, this week's one we're doing that tax
Oh, yeah.
planning thing. So, like, yes.
Next week.
And I won't be here. So, actually, you guys want to do your own meeting? We can do like a decentralized meeting where it won't be. Well, we'll figure that out. Either we'll do a Google Meet for like 30 minutes and then everybody can do their own thing.
Sounds great.
Yeah, come in on my too.
Thanks, you guys.
See you later.
Hey, hey, can somebody be in charge of cleaning up? We got a thing going on. Just fine?
Oh, watch out.
You too.
Oh, she's going out.
Before I leave, does anyone have questions? I do. Good. Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about buyer's rep agreements?
I hate it. Well, actually, I don't hate it. I would submit it with the offer. So when I